Good morning, builders. We're back with some more Scroll of Taiwu. It is bedtime for ghosts and zombies, and a few naughty ones are out of bed. So Dun's here taking care of business and making sure that things are happening that need to happen. Last time around, we started in on the Swordsmith Villa quest line, so I have a sneaky suspicion that a couple adventures and that is going to be on the plate for today. Pretty excited for that. The story was pretty well written and pretty interesting so far. We'll see what horrific things befall us as that continues on. See some people in here chatting already. Good morning, Shinosuke, Haas, Avatar, Israel, Ra. Good morning, good morning. Time to flip some burgers. We're gonna be flipping something all right here. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Excited to be here Saturday morning. Oh man, I made another cup of coffee, but it's like way too hot. Not even gonna fiddle with that. Okay, let's get right into it. We saved inside an adventure, something I normally don't like to do. We are running a chisel circulation. Not much to say about that. I don't think we have more than just the one. It's fine. Yeah, we pretty much maxed out anything that's not moving around elements. We have pretty much maxed out, so that's fine. Study-wise, we've been chewing through books relatively well. We just finished the commentary on the Water Classic, as one does. No, I take that back. We didn't finish that. That makes me sad. Is there any chance that we could just complete that right now? Increase this chapter's progress by a amount. Study progress at the cost of durability. You know what? I would probably be okay with that. Except for I put it on the wrong chapter. I hate that. Oh, I wish that would default down to the correct chapter. All right, well, we're reading that for one more month. Rip me. Injury-wise, we are clean and don't have anything. Breakthrough. Oh, breakthroughs. We did so many breakthroughs last time. There was one, what was it, that I said I really wanted to get the Orthodox version. I'm pretty sure it was steel rending? Not steel rending. Geez, what is it? Show me. Pretty sure it was a swordsmith. Well, whatever. We can't do it right now. I want to get the one where if they parry, I hit them. The Orthodox version is if I hit again. That will be probably way better. We don't get parried that often, so I think that'll be an improvement. I can't do my region stuff while I'm in here, so I guess we're off and running. Hey, Zerk, it's been a little while, man. How you doing? You get to catch a live stream for once, or at least part of it, depending on how long you go. Usually the schedule during the summer is about 4-hour streams. We're just getting started. It was a defensive skill? I don't think it was a defensive skill. When we get in combat, maybe we can see. Now this looks like some proper cultivation nonsense. This is a very good cultivation game. If you like the wushu, zhangshai type cultivation stuff, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. We've had basically no technical problems. There's been a couple little strings of like untranslated stuff, but nothing bad at all. Just some minor little things, and they've been getting patched pretty well. So if you haven't checked it out, I would definitely suggest the playthrough. And if you like the genre, you'll probably like it. Okay, let's go beat up some ghosts. I think we were planning on trying to get rid of this, although I'm pretty full of energy because we had to end the month there, so maybe we'll go the other direction. We'll take out this ghost spawner. Yeah, I think that's going to be the case. Let's go that way. It'll burn a little more energy that way. Wow, you look like a zombie. Okay, yeah. All right, let's do it. Combat start. Just realized that Dun is a wuxia cultivator in a zhangshai world. Like I said, it kind of reminds me of, I don't know the name of it off the top of my head, but there's an anime where it's like a wizard world and the guy's just like really buff and he just beats up all the wizards. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I did have a comment from someone that was asking how we were doing the stance thing. We are doing the stance things via... oh, and there's the one I wanted to change. Universal stances. We have one of our techniques that whenever we use something that is pure breath, we get a amount of that as stance. I can show that in a minute. But yeah, that is like super good and pretty linchpin for this build in all honesty. Because it allows us to always have enough stance to do our big hits. This build is working pretty well, I will say. I'd be really curious to know how smooth the early game is for internal damage builds. Because we're just not finesse. We just literally beat people down with our giant slab of iron sword. And it seems to work, so yeah. Mashley, is that the name of it? As an internal damage build, it's not been smooth for me. Okay, yeah. I bet if I had to guess, and I'm assuming that there's some level of balance in the game, I would assume that the internal stuff is probably better for like hard bosses like that last one we did, and probably has a really good late game as people get better armor and better defensives. That I think we're gonna have more and more problems with a build like this. Took you 12 years in game. Well, maybe you're just a late bloomer. Maybe you're just a late bloomer. Man, I forgot we actually have to kind of like pay attention to these ghosts. Actually one of the tougher things that we fought. Yeah. Sit down, Mr. Ghost. And really, the thing that's going to be really nasty in here is going to be my inventory. My inventory is what's going to absolutely kill us. Yeah, we're already getting kind of high. You know what? We're not... Whoa. No. We're not, gonna go home for a long time, so I'm just gonna rip things apart. Red Owl Vest. Interesting to actually see a blue in here, though. Yeah, we'll take all of that apart. Try to keep my weight down a little bit. It probably will not work. All right, we have a ghost spawner here, but I also want to make sure we see this corner. You trying to step up, buddy? All right, apparently we're gonna have to beat a lot of ghosts here. Actually, your character is? That's funny. Gray says, I have an internal damage build and never had any trouble. Built my guy around the Wu Ding stuff. Well, and I bet you there's some that just are easier than others. I guess ideally we really lucked out that for the early game, some of our early game stuff was good enough to pretty much carry us until we kind of got a thing up online. Nate says, I feel like the music build is the strongest. Everyone has low poise, and no one uses skills to heal the daze. Alright, bonky bonk. And I'm gonna immediately want to defend that. Your R-Heart Sword Heart. Yeah, none of that, please. Vindica says, I was playing on harder, so maybe that was a difference. Yeah, we're just playing totally normal, regular difficulty here. Nothing crazy. We found a Restisto sword. Interesting that we're seeing some tier 6 stuff in here. That's definitely been the best loot we've seen. Interesting, interesting. A bat vase. Oh, yes, this is my bouquet of bats. That sounds like something out of Fallen London. Okay. Shoo. All right, we got to get to that spawner. I'm going to do it via beating this one up. Can companions be killed in these battles? If you put them into combat via deploy, I would assume that they could be killed. I don't see why they wouldn't be. These people should be safe unless you deploy them, though, at least to my knowledge. Ross says, my plan is to make a music medic toxic build. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like when people ask as a new player, what should I play in Dominions? And the answer is the thing that you're excited to play, just with the caveat of knowing that it might be difficult for a new player. But if you're not motivated to play something, or it's like in an RPG or something, and people tell you, oh, you have to play this character or whatever, and it's not the character you want to play, like you get Ice Wimps 3 times in Star Rail, then it's really hard to keep your interest going. Just play anything that looks cool except for blood. Well, even there, like, you could play like EA Abyssia and ignore the blood. Like, obviously it's not gonna be as good as you having the blood, but it's the same thing with having to do communions. Just, you know, like I said, if you're not excited to play something, you're not gonna be motivated to learn. So you may as well play something that you're at least excited to do. Plus, at least in theory, we play these games because we want to have fun, right? You're not doing it because you like to eat your vegetables. All right, buddy. Getting mighty tired of this. I'm getting mighty tired of this. Why do I not have freaking any hacks this time around? Are you parrying all my hacks? I'm not amused. Ah. Ghost killing coffee. Delicious. Okay. Now, what is that? I have lots of space for energy, so we may just grab this and then go grab the energy, even though we don't need it. There's a chest. Open the chest. It's got herbs in it. I didn't even see the chest. Grass on a tombstone. Hold on, what's that? Taiwu Dun moves through the thick mist. In the distance, branches stretch high. A towering green tree, over 7 chi tall, stands at the center. Among the tender leaves dangling several strange fruits, trembling slightly in the wind. Watch it closely. Dun examines for a while, finds nothing unusual, at a loss. Dun moves through the thick mist. Okay, pick the fruit. The ripe, tender fruit hangs from the branches. They fill their bags with them. Though these fruits are not rare, seeing them all growing together in the mass grave is oddly striking. I'm not sure I want to eat ghost fruit. You'll sit down and eat your ghost fruit. Mom, but I hate ghost fruit. We're gonna get haunted. Would you eat fruit from a graveyard? I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, right? Valley of Flowers, spelling a suggestion for his build. They are right next to 5 villains too. You might have a little bit of problem with your personality of your character, but other than that. Sino says, speaking of eating veggies, I one-shot 1,500 energy in one sitting for Limbus. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I ground the crap out of Mirror Dungeon yesterday. Now that I actually have some characters, oh my god. My Mirror Dungeons went from like an hour and a half to like 40 minutes. It's so much better than it was. Okay, yep. We're gonna have to beat up a lot of ghosts in here. A lot of ghosts need to be spanked. They are up out of their coffin after coffin time. I do like that we're actually seeing some better loot though. Honestly, there's been almost nothing we have found up to this point that we've used. I guess the horse. We may have even bought that though. Mirror dungeon with base IDs is a miserable experience. Well, I basically had that base ID plus Rose Spanner Trimble team or Trimmer team. It was okay. I mean, I never failed a run, but some of those runs were like 2 hours, like legit. I posted on Discord yesterday, so after the poll video that I did exactly what I said. Just I was gonna pour anything we got, tickets or lunacy or whatever, into the gacha, and I pulled Greg last night. And I pulled She Who Grips off the Walpurgis banner. So all I need to do now is dispense the other 2 thumb IDs, and then my team's good to go. And I have enough boxes for one of them already. 2-hour run sounds like a nightmare. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest it. It was the price of being disciplined for Walpurgis though, so kind of is what it is on that. But that being said, my only regret is if I had infinite time and maybe I was willing to spend money, I kind of wanted to do a playthrough where we only used IDs that were released at the time of the Kanto, but that would be so hard for a new player. I would just need to like wallet dump if I wanted to do a playthrough like that. We're gonna have the opposite problem. When I do stuff now, my team's gonna be 100% brand new and it's gonna be way too OP. We're gonna breeze through everything, but it is what it is. It's mostly a story game, so. Also, I see that I did follow Sung Tzu yesterday, and I did not play with my camera right before I went live, but I did play with my camera after we were live. So I do see that my arm's weirdly cut off. Okay, there we go. I don't mind my green screen that I got, and it was really good for what it is, but I kind of want to get a wider one. Like, my camera is like way out here, but I zoom it in because of where the green screen is. It'd be a little easier and I wouldn't have to fiddle so much. I don't like this stupid chair I have. It has these arms that I don't like that hit my desk. And so they're always in my camera shot because I have them up instead of down. Absolutely annoy the crap out of me. Okay, time to go to bed, ghosties. As Taiwu Dun passes one mound, he notices the soil is deep dark brown. The soil quivers slightly. All right, I know you're hiding in there. Come on. Come on. Yeah. That's what I thought. Zombie bedtime. Okay, and I did start at full stamina. We had a weird thing yesterday where I was starting at like half stamina for some reason. I don't know why that was. Yeah, we're gonna dominate these little ghosties. Can you use something other than a sword? Swords are cringe. I'm fighting words. Yeah, there's tons of different weapons in this game. There are blades. Blades are more like a heavy, choppy sword. There's pole arms, which usually means stabs, but I think there's some spears. There's hidden weapons. There's fists. There's... what else am I missing, guys? Poison attacks. There's whips. There's mechanical birds. There's kick attacks. I'm sure I'm missing one or two. Music, yep, music. The goo insects. If you want to train insects to burrow into your enemies and poison them. I think there's ghost cultivation, although I'm not sure what weapons they're using. I think they've usually been like whips. Oh, pokey pokey. Yeah, I absolutely love how tanky we are. The fact that I can pretty much ignore their damage in these encounters as long as I block their one big hit. Like, they don't even have anything built up on me. Like, Dune just doesn't care. Like, we're walking around in, like, Terminator armor, and they were using, like, their, like, Nerf paddles to hit me. Polearms are strong in the late game, but they suck early in middle stages. Yeah, I've heard that a lot of those ones are a little more defensive. So, like, again, you get really tanky, you just don't do any damage. Pokey poke. What are we waiting for? Waiting for a hack. The exotics, yeah. Fortunately for you, buddy, that is not a defensive skill that's going to help you against Dune. They have all these clever defensive things. Little do they know, Dune's just going to hit you in the face with a metal bat. Yeah, that doesn't even hurt, man. Oh, so close. All right, now we did say pinpoint. No, pinpoint was not it. Yeah, I would need to do an opening to get that last wound, not a pinpoint. We were talking about that from one of the fights before. All right, let's finish this. Wow, she crit me for 2 damage. Oh no. I can vaguely see some, I can vaguely see some damage here. A little bit. Okay, yoink. As the dirt mound gradually parts, strands of ghostly presence drift upwards. Only a lone skeleton lies in the pit, its hand clutching a tiger jade disc. It seems no walking corpses will rise from this grave again, yet the dark ghostly presence still lingers. Okay. Alright, let's go get that energy. There's a chest with some jade in it. How am I not seeing these? Am I nuts, or are these just randomly being found? Okay, we'll take our rest. Just meditate in the cemetery here. It's fine. Alright, then you. I think it's time that you get whacked. Alright. Savage. What is your chi? That's not particularly worried. I found an interesting cultivation story where the fact that MC is reincarnated is a detriment. Interesting. Yeah, we were talking about things that annoy us in the stories. I wonder what the next thing's gonna be now that it seems like maybe isekais are kind of dying down a little bit. Been so weird that's like even in stories that literally make no reference to it, it doesn't matter and it's not a plot point. The beginning is just always, yeah, it's an isekai. It's like, but why? Like that serves no point in the story. Same thing with the amnesia trope. We were talking about that one a couple days ago too, where it's like every gacha game you play is an amnesiac. Wait. What if we did an isekai, but when you get isekai'd, he also has amnesia, so he doesn't know he's isekai'd. So then he's just a normal dude in the world. That's literally like the plot for the last decade. What encounter is that? If you're asking me, I'm in a mass grave. Amnesia is 10 times better than an isekai. I mean, there were a couple good isekais, but to be a good isekai, like, it needs to do something in the story, right? Taiwu Dun attempts to seize hold of the cold, flickering flame, but the ghostly fire slips through his fingers, darting quickly to the distance. What are you doing, ghost fire? Okay, apparently I can't grab it. I did just gain a bunch of seniority for stuff, though. Okay, nothing over there. That looks like that might be something. A bright hall. Okay. Come here, you. All right. Yeah. These are working very well. Very, very well. We got tons of energy, so I'm hoping we can click through this mass grade without having to roll a month. We'll see if that's going to happen or not. I haven't watched it, but didn't Release That Witch get an anime? I read that a long time ago. That one has the annoyance to me, though, like, I don't know. It's gonna be a fantasy setting. Oh, JK, we're actually just gonna make guns. Okay, we're gonna do that again. All right. Sure, why not? It seems like isekai just like killed the fantasy genre because everything just has to be, we're gonna make guns and soap apparently. Bonky bonk, nice. Fulong's drunk immortal pawn. Oh yeah, that's right, there's a drunk technique, isn't there? I tried to do that when I did my matchless kung fu playthrough to modicum of success. Thank God that's dying down. Yeah, I agree. Well, and the thing was, it just became all pervasive. Like, it's fine if that's your story, but it just felt like it was everything. Strikes them down. Another one. Oh my goodness. Who would have thought there were so many ghosts in this mass grave? No, no, Dude, you're getting complacent. Pay attention. You're clicking all kinds of buttons. I probably should move those two next to each other since I have to click them at the beginning of every combat. Yeah, maybe I should do that. We'll move this one up, I think. Or maybe I'll move that one back and that one up. Just so I keep all my movements together and all my defenses together. And splat. Ooh, okay. You actually didn't take that much damage. What do you got going on? Am I not allowed to look at you? No. Okay. Alright, Ghosty. I think we're gonna do a little unfinished on this one, because I have a feeling we're gonna be here for a minute, so hurting her arms will be worthwhile. Yeah, left leg injury, a slight one. None of that, please. A hype squad going for it. I love how fast we can just spam this stuff out. We probably should wait for some extra breath here. We've learned our lesson about getting too aggressive. Okay, that's probably enough. I get countered. Thunderous juke. Ah, she has a defense up this time. Parrying resistance. Didn't help you. Sorry for my even more than usually bad spelling, but it's Saturday and I like a beer. No problem. Just, it's funny, like, I've been complaining lately. YouTube does this thing where some days it just randomly decides that, like, that person is gonna get translated, and it'll just take completely normal words and just, like, change what they're saying. It's really annoying, and I have to mouse over it to see what they actually said. The worst one's when somebody takes, where someone's isekai and uses their magic to industrialize. Yup. Yep. Again, I don't mind one or two of that, but for a while it felt like that was like everything. Test some easy fights with other weapons. The problem with that, Raw, is I don't have any. I'd have to make another preset build because I don't have any room for more of our range abilities. I guess we have a couple of extra slots. We could probably throw one on. It's not a horrible idea. I'd have to change all my automatic stuff though too. Okay, that's not what I meant. Man, I need another cup of coffee this morning. I legitimately did not sleep long enough last night. I was working on something, and then I got done with it. I did a mirror dungeon, and then I was gonna watch one thing and go to bed, and my internet went out. And I was like, oh crap. Well, okay. I'll just go to bed early because I'm gonna be a good boy. I got into bed and I had my phone. There's my first mistake. I was like, I'll just finish watching that video. And then I went down a rabbit hole and I watched like an hour and a half of videos when I should have been sleeping. Yeah, doom scrolling is a real thing. Should we try the translation feature by talking in other languages? Well, it works on Arabic because Abby was translating some stuff from Cultist Sim for me, and whenever he would type in Arabic, it would actually translate it to his satisfaction, at least. But it was also kind of annoying because he was trying to explain how to pronounce something, and then it was changing what he was trying to say on the pronunciations. So that was a little annoying. See, and it didn't do that one. Vamos ver Vismo se está funcionando. See, and it didn't do that one, which I would have totally expected it. Also, nice try yesterday, Haas. I saw that you gifted 5 memberships right at the end of stream, and you're gonna get thanked for it whether you like it or not. Try to stealth donate. I'm on to you. Thank you, I appreciate that. Bonk. Never open videos after going to bed. It will eat all your time. Yep. Yep. I used to be so good. I used to literally have a rule that I would never touch my phone when I got into bed. And then I started breaking that rule, and yeah. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Okay. Hopefully this is gonna do something for this encounter. I feel like we're beating up a lot of ghosts, and that's great, but we're also not making a very big dent here. What do you got, Bright Hall? Taiwu Dun presses on for several more steps, and then, no. Until a colossal outline looms in the mist ahead. Malevolent currents of yin energy converge towards it from every direction. It can only be the Qi Nexus spoken of in Feng Shui. Inspect the Qi Nexus. Moving slowly along the flow of yin energy, Taiwu Dun comes upon several lone graves crisscrossed at odd angles, with thick yin energy stagnating here in the mass grave. If left as is, it will unsettle the minds of nearby passerbys. I could renovate the grave, change the layout, or relocate the grave. Let's do some renovations. Remove the weeds from between the tombs, relocated the graves ruined by tree roots, and finally dissipated the Qi of gloom in the area. Feel helpless. Okay, can I do anything else? Negative. Okay, that looks also like it's a thing. Sword drawing stance. We actually got some use out of hit them when they parry you. Okay. There we go. That was actually pretty good. I was reading the storyline in Taiwu and missed the time on the live stream. No problem. Had some hours on a train, decided against doom scrolling for once. I've only ever taken one little tiny, like, touristy train thing. I would love to take a big train trip. I think that'd be really cool. It's hard to do nowadays in the United States. There just isn't a lot of passenger train available. Ghosts need to drop better loot. That's funny you say that, because I feel like these have dropped the best loot that we've actually had. We got a couple blues, which we've never really gotten. I'm so proud of this ghost. actually could, like, parry a little bit. I mean, it's not gonna save you, but, you know. Not having trains boggles my tiny European mind. I don't know why the passenger trains, I guess it's just the economics of it wasn't there. And to be fair, it's a long time. It's a long time. Like, if you do a cross-country train east to west coast, I think it's like a 5 or 6 day travel. Like, you have to remember how big the United States is. We had the same thing when I was in China. We had planned a train trip, but it was going to be like a 24-hour long train thing. And we were there, and right before we were going to actually take it, we were advised, 3 Westerners on that train are probably going to get mugged. You probably shouldn't do that. So we ended up flying. So instead of a 24-hour train ride, we had like a 2-hour flight. So, you know, we basically gained an extra day of our vacation via not taking a train. Flying's just overpowered. That's just what it is. They've been trying to build a high-speed train down in California, but it's been a complete cluster. They've wasted like $100 billion or something stupid, and they have nothing complete. Dihun Taiwu strikes them down, leaving them scattered and broken. The malice is so strong that those who enter can't read fast enough. Okay, got you. Taiwu Dun rushes towards the flat area of the mass grave to investigate. A sudden piercing wail rings out as cold winds and black mist swirl in from all directions. At the center of the flat, a door slowly creaks open. It turns out there was an ancient tomb hidden underground. Yin energy converges here. Deathly aura is strong. I must enter the tomb to dispel evil. All right, we got the naughty one. Yup. Yeah, you look naughty. Rampaging, that looks worrisome. 187. We have comparable amounts of chi. Actually using a lot of purples. This is gonna be a tough fight. I think this is gonna be a tough fight. I think we'll be okay here though. The fact that her chi is about equal to ours. To cap off our train talk before I dive in here, Grace says it wouldn't even be worthwhile to build an east-west when air is just so much more efficient. Yeah. It would only work, you could connect all the existing metros. Train passenger lines from coast to coast is long, but mainly takes so long because U.S. passenger service takes a backseat to cargo. There's a few trains on the East Coast. Keep thinking one up to New York City. Yeah, I watched a video of a guy who took a train from... He wanted to take like the longest train ride or something, so he started in Florida and he ended up in Washington State, and then he took a cruise up to like Alaska or something, and it was ridiculous. Like the train broke down like 3 times, and they kept having like fires, and it was absolutely ridiculous. It was just the normal passenger experience, apparently. All right, let's get into Ghosty here. Taiwu Dun gathers their resolve and edges towards the grave's entrance with care. Without a warning, a withered, dark shape glides out from behind the doorway. Its pale face is wrapped with malice like an evil ghost. It remains silent, staring at Dihun Taiwu with clouded, unblinking eyes. The man actually dwelt in a tomb like a half-human, half-ghost. His chest is slightly heaving, which means he's undoubtedly a living person. Number 1. The shadow's coarse, dark cloak lashes violently in the wind. Who are you? Why have you broken into my tomb? Its joints snap loudly from head to toe with every phrase, making a murderous aim obvious. Oh, it could debate the ghost. That would be hilarious. We don't know. We don't know. 5, 5, 6. Okay, they would be a little too much for us for a debate. All right, I'll debate you with my iron sword. Okay, so those are not the stats I saw before. You lied to me, game. But we still have about comparable stats. We both have a 75. We both have about a 50. We both have about 40s. Okay, we're about comparable here. The Kwaiji stab, upswing, hack. Got a hype squad of ghosts. Hi. Sanguine arts, Wudang. Ghost companion, yeah. This encounter is essential for a necromancer run. Ooh, interesting. I didn't know there were necromancer runs. There you go. Yeah, look at that. We started at half stamina for some reason. I have not figured out the rhyme or reason to that yet. All right, we'll be patient. We'll get that up once we're set. All right, we're just feeling each other out right now. Okay. All right, let's see what defense you're gonna use. Oh, is my hype squad good enough? Oh, my hype squad was good enough. Bang. Okay. Did damage, not crazy. Okay, we're gonna be in this one for the long haul. That means we gotta be very careful too. We don't want to get early wounds. Okay, I don't have enough for this yet. I have a defensive skill. It's not the one I want though. Yeah, we should be okay. Man, another thing I would do if I was gonna remake a character, cast speed is so good. I might be tempted to try to buy the tier 3 cast speed. It's just so good to be able to actually get... Okay, you also healed a little bit. To be able to get your defensive skill up like that the last second. Okay, what are you defending? A bunch of poise and then 13%. I don't think the poise matters here. Let's see. So we did a crit, and then we got a deflect, and then we got a hit, and then we got critical damage. Yeah, we normally would be doing thousands of damage here. Okay, where are we at? I have no techniques. I'm kind of out of breath. I probably should wait and make sure we can get Yin Yang. She's doing a little bit of internal something. Sealing an acupoint, okay. Mateo says, mine has tier 3 cast and tier 3 excellent talent. Yeah, the cast speed is just so good because if you're slow, even if your art's gonna hit really hard, they'll always have their defensive art up, and that's exactly what you don't want. Okay, other than being acupointed, we are also accumulating a decent amount of toxin. I need to keep an eye on that. We do have a detox available. We'll let that get a little bit higher, but just know it's ready. Okay. We really need to get some hacks here. There we go. Okay, yeah, I think we can afford that. Oh, nope. What are we at? 72%. Okay, we're still good on using this. Oh, no. Oh, again, cast speed. Wow, that was a much faster cast than the other one. All right, I think we're gonna need to actually like whittle this one apart. So I think we're gonna start doing some unfinished, so we can start doing limb damage. I'm not gonna race. We need to be in this for the long haul. Do not take a big hit for no reason. Turn that off right away. Those acupoints. Trying to keep an eye on those poisons because they're definitely building up. Okay, come on, Hype Squad. Let's go, Hype Squad. One more. Yeah. Apparently 4 of them. Deflect this. All right, now unfortunately, we need to get to 5 before these seem to do anything. So we're at 2 left arm injuries. Man, that acupoint really slows our attack down. We're not building a lot of technique. All right, I think it might be detox time here. I've never actually had to do that in combat. Okay, good. That basically reset us. All right, give me some breath. Hype squad. Hype squad, one more. Nice. Yeah. When we get triple hype, she can't get her defense up fast enough. Did the Spirit Seer and cast T9 to 7 arts was faster than normal attack? Worked well to not get interrupted. This one looks seriously cool when they do their attacks. Pinpoint and unleash. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I probably should take that serious. I need 6 to do an opening. Let's just hold on to our pinpoint, but I probably should unleash. Not while she has this up, though. We'll let that wear off. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's our... Okay. I'm gonna continue to wait on that, but I will unleash. Congratulations, you made me actually start trying. All right, get our astral evasion up for our extra to hit. Okay, we need one more hack. All right, but I can actually get that from here, right? So we're gonna do a pinpoint strike. We're not gonna be fancy here. I would just like a hack. We'll hit you in the chest. Give me an opening. And then immediately we juke it. Oh, we get the hype squad. All right, this should be a pretty good one. And come on. Ah, I'm not getting those 100%. Okay, we did start wounds. That's good. We have a hindrance. Torso openings, 2. Fortunately, I don't really have anything to hit with that. It's about due for them to hit me. Nah, we'll just put up a meditation. Okay, that's a weird one. Yeah. I knew you were about due. What are we at? 63%. It's gonna be time for Celestial Armor pretty soon. Oh, those acupoints. Nope, I don't want to leave that on. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I don't want to waste techniques. I would much rather wait for Thunderous, but... Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, Torsos doesn't seem to hinder them very much when you beat that down. Actually, you know what? Let's switch to Celestial. Oh. Those acupoints make my attacks so slow that this is way closer than it should be. Let's go ahead and hit her. I actually finally got her first wound on me. Of course, it's a limb wound. This is about as hard as the sword mount, just less damaging. Okay, let's get some stance. Okay, defend that. All right, we're gonna be able to do a double juke here in a second. I also have a unleash. Let's do the unleash. Okay, don't sit in that. I need 2 more hacks, and then we can double juke. I need 1 more hack. Come on, buddy. There it is. Okay. First we do that. Hype squad. Alright, beat the crap out of them. 1. Man, we just cannot get that 100%. Alright, we get some stance, and we juke again. Ooh. No, patience wins the day. Patience wins the day. I don't want to eat an undefended attack. That's just asking for it. Alright, we should be good to get some stance. Alright. Oh, nah, bad timing. Alright, I'm still gonna hit you. God, imagine how confident you need to be in your defense to be in that stance when somebody's hitting you with a sword. Putting your arms above your head while they're swinging at you. Yikes. Alright, we are exhausted. We have nothing up. We have 2 injuries on our left arm. The magic of chi. Do the same strategy using the hype squad. I feel like we're fine. I just need to make sure we stay patient. It's gonna be just like last night. My own impatience is gonna be my worst enemy. Okay, finish that and get that up. %. Boo. There it is. Hey, we're getting somewhere. Need some stance. I also can unleash. We'll wait for her defense to turn off. Oh no, your defense turned off. That's too bad. Oh, Shinosuke, there it is. There it is, your favorite attack in the entire game. Toad kick. It's a sanguine art from... It's a sanguine art for annihilation. If the user retreats a distance of 2 after casting this martial art at 10% power, if the user continues to cast this martial art, its stance and inhale costs continue to decrease up to 3 times. There you go. I mean, it looks cool. I'll give you that. My sword is down to 49 durability, by the way. Alright, let's go for it. This one's a spicy one. Okay, I was gonna try to do a double, but there's no reason to when they have their defense up. It's fine. God, we are barely getting these defensive skills up before they're done channeling. If they were just a little bit faster, we would not be able to do it. Okay, and we might have him here if this hits well. I have an unleash to follow it up with. No. Probably not. Yeah, close, close. All right, you know what? We probably should pop a heal. Safe than sorry. Bang. Okay, perfect timing. We'll defend this, and then we should be able to do 2 attacks in a row. Alright, here goes the Thunderous Juke. If they survive this one, then we'll immediately do an unfinished. I can't believe we came out of this as well as we did. Yeah, that we are not going to finish them. Okay, so we meditate our elixir to get the stance and then immediately into an unfinished. Okay, whew. That was a fight. That was a fight. 100% XP bonus, prestige bonus. Got 4.7k XP. We're up to 110. Got a mountain pendant. Willpower plus 14. Wow, that's really crappy stats for a T6. And he gave me Meditator's Elixir. That's funny. Life and death depend on each other. Death is life. I have already understood the way of life and death. Do you think I will die like this? The living dead falls in a pool of blood. Moans grow shorter and shorter. In a moment, the person has died. Obtained regional favor. With the ringleader eliminated, these abnormalities should soon fade. I just got an achievement for doing the encounter, and we got 2 anti-death pills. The most legendary pill that can eliminate one's spirit and therefore freeze their body. They will not die at the end of their lifespan, but at the end of the pill's effect. Before the pill's effect ends, the consumer will not die at the end of their lifespan. There you go. You guys want to eat the weird zombie pill? It cures death. Yeah, I assume that poison would be much better on attacks that attack faster. Two of them will trigger every 10 seconds, but most trigger every X attacks or X movements. Any of these pills for my tribulations? You probably do. Martial artist. Dihun Taiwu has never slacked off in cultivating. Through relentless practice, Taiwu Dun's mastery of microcosmic circulation has reached new heights. Every circulation becomes far more efficient and grants deeper insight. Okay. What level of aspiration is that? Martial arts. A level 2. Map making. Proper use. I mean, I guess we could switch this out when we're not crafting. Attainment bonus of 56% is pretty nice. Enhances the overall effect of microcosmic circulation, grants additional random circulation strategies. The higher the seniority, the stronger it is. 61% circulation bonus. And an extra strategy. Yeah. Sadly enough, I don't care about my circulation at the moment, so I'm not going to put that on, but we will keep that in mind. We have a Villain's Valley right here. All right, actually, now that we're out, we can go to our industry. Been a couple months, I think. Okay, so we got a verdant plant and an uncut jade. You, no rebellious. You, welcome. Okay. Jade. And a plant. Okay, we got 3 people. We just built a library. Yes. All right, of the idle people, You have the best talent. Welcome in. You are now the librarian. That's not ominous at all based on other things we've been playing. All right, and then I would like to... Okay, so we have a bookshop. Requires villagers to work. We can sell books, buys and sells books in return for silver. The academy allows you to find individuals with outstanding literature talent. The Scholars Guild, an expansion to the library, requires villagers to work. Compiles books and records in return for prestige. We can't get the Long Tortoise Mountain yet. Luminary Pagoda. Constructed with the core material Moonlight Gemstone is expansion. Must be adjacent to a spirit vein. Increases literary attainment. I don't think we have any spirit veins, do we? And the Scripture Vault. We need Bookcase of Intricacies. Requires villagers. Enables repairing any book placed upon its shelf. Okay, so we need to look for the Bookcase of Intricacies. And I guess we'll go ahead and grab the Academy. Hey, idiot. So circulation, I just learned that even if you finish your chi art, if you keep circulating it, you get progression towards your chi from higher tier chi arts. Check the stats on the left. We'll say annihilation and a certain plus to the number based on the chi circulation. Very handy. I can get a ton of bonus chi. The pill turns people into zombies. Well, there you go. You have that to look forward to. That's like, well, it's not very balanced at the moment. In Stellaris, I love the permanent employment. So you literally have corporate zombies. There's an event in that one where one of the zombies almost pays off its debt. So you make a bunch more red tape to make sure that it can't pay off its debt. Okay, I don't think there's overly much here I need to do. Yeah, and we need to finish our book. We have tons of energy. Solaris has never bounced. Yeah, true. All right. A Villain Valley. Malevolent Mystic. All right, I mean, I'm sure you can't be as bad as the last one. Yeah, you are definitely not. That was a really fun fight with that zombie master person. Bonk, bonk. 1,700 regional failure. Yeah, we got a whole bunch from that encounter, I believe. Because I think I used it all up. When we, yeah, I'm pretty sure we used up. We only had like 800 and I used it. So that's pretty good. I love that. Oh, I forgot. I forgot about that. That's hilarious. Hardwood strikers. Oh yeah, garbage. You know what? We should also probably go into my inventory. I should probably rip some of these things apart. You might sell for something. The number one enemy is the inventory size. All right, come here, villains. All right, we have done this encounter multiple times. Basically, they're tricking travelers and people, and they're killing them and robbing them. I'm not going to read through most of these. Oops. We will just complete our encounter. We would like to find the key to beat up the guy in the middle. Nothing for now. All right, so there's a body. We're going to go investigate it. Areas have some chickens you can buy from mayors in town. Check the chickens. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we only have the one chicken at the moment, which does a good job, I guess. All right, we learned that they're poisoning the wine in the tavern. We're gonna try to help people out here. Do we have the detox stuff? We do not. Okay, that makes me sad. All right, we'll drink the wine. Let's be a little more careful than last time we did this. We got detox to hell and back. Probably need to fix my breath too. Daughter, fix my breath. Thank you. Alright, different detox, nice. Okay, I don't have to drink that one. I don't have to do that one either. Nice. Oh, nice haircut. Okay, now they're all mad. They're like, how dare you not poison people? Alright, well, sorry, bud. No poisoning on my watch. I guess at some point, some of these low-level adventures probably are not worth doing, but I guess on the other hand, you could just do them so fast, and they do give regional favor. They're probably worth doing. You're getting gallant aspiration for drinking the poison. I am pretty gallant. Yep, and we're gonna remember this time to take the keys. Okay, we did not find the key. We got some stuff. What's in your chest? Oh, we get ambushed. Yeah, Galliant was one of the ones when I first looked at the game that I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. I kind of want that one. I will say the aspirations have, for the most part, been super useful. Some of them maybe are a little more questionable. Like the beggar one strikes a little bit weird to me. But yeah, a lot of those, like, see extra range on the map. Get extra XP. Collect a bunch of stuff. Jonah says, I still do thieves camps. Some events are just good for farming some things. Thief camps give over 50k silver per event. Wow. All right, we got some T5 rope. Open the martial loadout. What do you want to know about my martial loadout? Oh, yeah, I was planning on doing that. All right, we'll add one here. Show me annihilation. I can never see that. I can never catch that. Okay, so Omnis Snare, I believe, is the high one. Tiles 2. Yeah, see, it uses so much precision. Just out of curiosity, the next one down, this one. Minimum attack range is greatly reduced. And cast this sorcery sour, knocks the enemy back. User gains 30 stacks of the effect. Whenever they try to advance, the user prevents them from moving at the cost of a stack. So you basically keep them busy for like 3 seconds without being able to close with you. Alright, we'll throw in an Omni Snare. Just to say that we did. Alright, patience. We will treat the patient. I know we can get a bunch of doctor from this. Boy, you are really injured, friend. No place to linger now that you are gone. Yeah, we get a bunch of doctor for that. Alright, we're gonna use up all of our treatment, but... Or maybe he could just be an absolute Chad and just finish it in one click. Noah, you're a pretty alright guy. Obligatory toad to kick shill. Yes, Mateus, thank you. The caps is unneeded, thank you. This is no place to linger since the conditions have improved. It's better to leave soon. All right, doctor, what are we gonna do, buddy? We gonna fight? You're just gonna let me in the chest? Okay, where did you go? You, are you beating up a patient? You are treacherous. All right. Apparently, he needs a little bit of a little bit of bedside manners training. Oh, our auto attack crit for 320. How much does it take to give you a wound? 200. Almost 2 wounds on an auto attack. Yeah, that is not bad at all. Bonky bonk. This'll probably finish him. Man, I love that. Righteous blade. Yeah, and the loot here is not going to be anything amazing. This is good. All right, not traveling through the middle like last time. No, reconsider our approach. I think you are right, Jack. I should repair my sword. I totally forgot about that. Normally, we don't have too much problems in those long fights, though. We really do chew through the durability. In fact, we should just hit everything while we're here. There we go. Wait a second, did I have a wound there? No, okay. Misread that. There's an acumen skill from one of the Buddhist sects that shuts down defensive skills whenever you use an annihilation skill. That is disgusting. There's some that stray, ignore, protect, and nimbles. Wow. Yeah. Do remember that this is a very expansive game and it will take time to do all the things. If I run around like a chicken with my head cut off, we'll never get anything finished. And we're not struggling in combat at the moment, so that's just not the priority at the moment. A spicy thick sauce fish. We will change it to vegetarian. Ruin his meal. And then here, again, we can ruin it with the flatbread. Actually, I probably shouldn't use my flatbread, because that's comprehension. Here, have the fruit. I like that we get these dishes, but aren't these dishes poisoned? Like, isn't that the whole point here? Why would I pick up the dish and take it with me? That seems like a bad plan. You look like a starving bandit from Kimchi. You really look like a starving bandit from Kimchi. Alright, well, we'll fix that. Takes an entire chat. It does. I will just kindly remind people. I know people are very excited, but just remember that the playthrough that we will have will not be the same as your playthrough. I will make different choices. We will build different things. We will fail at things I'm sure I should have passed. Just be along for the ride. I don't mind suggestions, but just remember that this is the playthrough that we're having, and it will be different. Dust? No dust bandit. That's a starving bandit. I ate some of those mistakes and got poisoned. Nice. They do a lot of poison in here. Like I said, I think that early medical skill is really useful because this is an early encounter that you're definitely going to want to do. And being able to just heal yourself compared to like having to find the right consumables or whatever. All right, we got all the things. All right, and we learned last time, because this was super annoying about clicking here. I don't know why it auto pops up here for some reason so happily. We'll use the key to dispel the mechanism. I should just be able to lockpick it, in all honesty. We're like so much better than their stuff here. If you use the poison needle, you can determine the poison and then detox. That seems like a lot of work. Would you get a bunch of aspiration for that for doctor or something? I do like that there are multiple ways that you can solve things. I do quite like that. One toxin, it's gone. Lock punch. Don't worry, I'm a master keysmith, he says as he takes his giant slab of iron and just pushes the lock through the door. Man, so I think I told this story a while ago, but the car I currently have, even when I got it, which was literally over 20 years ago, the key was already worn down. I don't know who, the person who had it before, I don't know how the hell they wore that key down as much as I did. But over the years, it just got worse and worse and worse. And it got to the point where it wasn't turning in my ignition. And I was like, oh God, how expensive is it gonna be to have this whole thing? I'm gonna have to replace my ignition key. I'm gonna have to have that replaced. I was so happy. I was able to have a new key cut and it was like 20 bucks. The funny thing was, I had done some research online and it was like, okay, you can go to a locksmith and you're gonna have to provide ID, you're gonna have to provide proof of ownership, and then they'll cut the key. I went in there and they're like, you want me to cut this? I was like, yeah. He goes, it's pretty worn out. I said, yeah, you might have to replace. He goes, well, let me look. He goes in the back, he goes, no, we have this on record. Cuts the new key, tests the key, I'm out of there in like 5 minutes. Never asked for ID, never asked for proof of ownership, just, here's a key, I'll cut you a new one. I was just like, I felt like it was in, is it the scene from Fifth Element when they like practice for like going through security and security's just like, yeah, whatever, go through. And they're like, no, multi-pass or whatever it was. That's what it felt like. But I was very happy to pay. I bought a spare key too. So it was like 25 bucks. I was expecting to have to replace the whole thing and rekey, so I was expecting like $150 to $300 bill. I did it during my lunch break at work. It was very nice. I was very happy about that. Should be able to walk through the wall. Okay, we actually didn't finish that guy. All right, little respect, you made me put up a defensive skill. But the, ooh, that looked cool. 81 chops of the crazed long. Too long. An exotic art that's fierce to the extreme. It's called Twisted Serpent, relentless that brings only disaster, fleeing long and evil unleashed. The user gains 4 stacks of the following effect. Martial arts at power 90%. Any body part hit by the martial art will keep taking increasingly more direct external injuries until the battle ends. Oh. If we ever switch to Blade, remind me about this one. So you can give him stacks that just make him take more damage permanently. Because it doesn't say that has a timer. We would be pretty good at that too with that amount of force. All right. Not bad, not bad. Try one of mine on for size now. Check this, the style cost. Oh, I didn't check that. Was it crazy? My head is over it. Oh no. It was 3 hack, yes. I wouldn't be able to use it unless I switched to a sword though, right? Or a blade, right? I found one from Long that's more styles you have, the stronger you are. Several blades can use hack or upswing. Oh, interesting. All right, well, there, you know, there's 1 point for heading down to Fu Long at some point then. That would be kind of nice because we could just stack up a couple of those at the beginning of combat for the big fights, you know? You can use the staff techniques with the sword. So as long as you have the techniques for it. Interesting. I figured, I guess I just assumed that you would at least need the right weapon. Okay, we finished with them. Okay, yeah. We'll look at the people. Are you evil? That's what I want to know. You're egocentric. We'll leave you be. How about you? Are you all egocentric? This is a place you can get new companions and new villagers pretty easily. I'm being a little picky here. Okay, I'm moderate. With absolutely terrible traits. Alright, but you can work in the mines. Send to the village. 2,000 prestige. Yeah, look at that. We are up to 1,800 regional favor. We had 0, basically. Alright, what do we got? Land of Death. I chickened out of this one earlier, but maybe I should take a second look at this. Alright, also... Nope, still have a month cooldown, okay. Yeah, let me take a second look. If they're blues, I think we will engage this. Traveler has increased. Okay, no, you are not blues. You're like the greens. Probably not. Probably not. Okay, we will leave that be. Okay. I think we will continue our main quest then. We needed to visit the villages and find his master to deliver the letter. Okay. Some of them have like 400 medicine. Hey, Kavoth, how's it going, man? They are PE 10, but they're a little weak for that level. Yeah, I'm just... The amount of time we would probably have to spend, even if we could do it, I think would be better spent. Okay, we will head to town and pass them up. Also, has the camera been okay today? I wanted to make a little bit of a change because I didn't like where it was. So we went from that angle to that angle. I felt like I was staring off screen a lot. Now I should be staring deeper into screen when I look at you guys. Noah approaches with slow steps, face showing clear despondency, as if burdened by heavy thoughts. After some conversation, it's revealed he's been suffering from unresolved melancholy and has come to specifically ask for some liquor. Is it really the nice thing to do to give our depressed friend a bunch of booze? Alright, as long as you're happy, Noah. Alright, come on. We need a strong son. Today, Dihun Dun travels far, yet thoughts return to Taiwu village. Dihun Taiwu has added the role of scholar to the village. Each village may serve by their talent. The peaceful order fills the heart with comfort. While lost in thought, Dihun Taiwu hears shouts up ahead. Looking over, a villager approaches, beaming, holding a wooden box. Upon reaching Taiwu Dun, the villager bows. Clothes make the man, they say. We have learned the new position of scholar was added to the village. We stayed up crafting this scholar robe as a token of gratitude. Very thoughtful. Haha, just a humble gift. Of all trades, none surpass the pursuit of knowledge. It's said that scholars can study, perform, collect tea, liquor, and change customs. If scholars are appointed in the village, surely talents will flourish and culture will thrive. Speaking of this, the village grew increasingly animated with excitement spilling out at every word. Have talents? I hear the scholars practice the 4 arts. Collect tea and liquor? It's said that scholars are refined in culture, lovers of fine tea and aged wine. They are also well versed in brewing and preparation, and may also be sent to tea pavilions or distilleries to collect tea and liquor. Cultural change? It's said that writing can shape customs and learning can encompass the world. A scholar may use their knowledge to shift local mores. If Their teaching is proper, local culture flourishes if misguided, rites and music fall into decay. I see. Oh dear, have I stayed too long for your duties? If the garment suits you, I'll place it in the warehouse for others to take when needed. The villager scratches his head and bows at Dihun Taiwu. This is good. All right, we unlocked some clothes. Babel's doing it right, even if you find a guy with 500 medicine. If he's rebellious or egocentric, he could end up murdering other villagers. Yeah, we don't need no murderers in our town, that's for sure. Camera's good for me, but then again, yeah, Raw's like, yeah, with the beer goggles on, you're not too bad. It's all right. Thanks. 500 medicines and gods. Yeah, totally can see that. Let's actually look. What is Noah at? Actually, what are we all at for medicine? Out of curiosity. What's the easiest way to see that? Probably through here. So I have 152. Noah has 82. Weirdly, I am better than him at this point. 77, and the wife has 58. My daughter has 19. 21 carpentry. She takes after dad. And my baby has 4 medicine. There you go. That's hilarious. Okay, new month. I am cultivating. It doesn't really change anything. Making a little bit of progress here. Okay. Study. We finished commentary on the Water Classic, as you do. Okay, next. Okay, we were gonna do some fine arts. Show me, not studied books. Got a couple jewel crafting. We have a medical one. Oxology, weaving, crafting, music, astrology. Medical art. We only have 12 durability. I don't think we're gonna make it through this one. I don't think we can do that in 12 durability. Maybe it's time we get started on the toxology stuff. We have a couple quick ones that we'll rip through. All right, so we have Guide to 6 Symptoms. That's a way better one. And then here. Yeah, I do not want to use that. Yeah, we don't want to use those super high tier books. That one should be fine. Records of redressing grievances. Wow, that did not move through that incomplete very much. All right, it's fine. You're trying to get a fine art to 400. You know, that's actually a fair point too. Actually focusing in a little bit might be worth our time. So for us, jewel crafting, no, carpentry is at 364. That's actually a really fair point. If we could get that to 400. So we really would like to find the tier 4 book. Yeah. I did have a carpentry book on that list. I thought I did. Yeah, we do. I'm not sure we can get through this. Both of them have double incomplete, double lost. I mean, I guess we can try, right? So what we would want to do is, they're the same chapters. So we'll start with one book, we'll chew through it, and then we'll have to equip the other book. That gives me 18 durability. Today I discovered an absolutely OP power of cricket duels. Yeah, there's another thing that we really haven't done enough of. If you want a good medical user, medical art, Valley of Flowers is a must. They have the best medical, toxic, and heal injuries. Look for some of this bonus study tiles. Yeah, we were looking at that building earlier, Jack, but we didn't have the... we need a bookcase of intricacies for that building. All right, I'm willing to give this a try. It's going to really come down to what we can proc. And we're definitely going to want to try to read do reads. What kind of references do we have? We wouldn't want to use that one. That one would be fine. I definitely wouldn't want to use that, nor that. Records of Mysterious Ghosts, probably. Well, we have 2 of those. Yeah, I think we'd do that. So we could get through an incomplete chapter in probably 1 durability because we're finishing this. So that's 1 durability, 2, 3, and then... Yeah, I think we can do this. Because, yeah, you're right. If we could get to 400, we could speed up all of our reading. All right, so we immediately want to do at least 1 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so I did estimate that about right. Okay, so we are at 7 durability. That'll be 8. And then the Lost are going to take a chunk. We have 10 more durability on the other book, and it has the same chapters. Okay. And then do I have any comprehension food? I think I remember that we had eaten our way through it. I really wish I could filter this by thing. Root bone, willpower, strength, constitution, spicy thick fish sauce. Oh, there we are. Comprehension recovery. We got 2 of those. I will eat 1. Start digesting that. Okay, lots of people selling stuff here. Kind of whatever. Fine arts always have the same chapter. Yeah. Fish and soybean are the comprehension meals. Wheat too, Nate. We've had some wheat stuff. Taiwu Dun walks through the quiet paths lined with brick and tile. As he arrives in town, he sees a crowd gathered outside his shop. The place is buzzing with noise. Upon the entrance, there's a metal gold sign, Championed Armaments. From inside, loud yelling can be heard. Don't think the Swordsmith's Villa has got no one left to stand up. Go inside and check it out. Inside, rows of weapons gleam in cold light. Swords line the walls and various weapons hang from wooden racks. 2 disciples from Swordsmith's Villa stand at the counter. One looks nervous, the other's fuming, visibly furious. Shh, there's a crowd outside. Keep it down. Hey, you 2? Need some help? The angry disciple sees Taiwu Dun walk in, drops a scowl, grabs a weapon from the table, and holds it in front of Taiwu Dun, raising his voice. Finally, someone with the guts to speak up. Perfect timing. This guy's from Champion Armaments, claims there's flaws in my blades, and only offers 70% of the usual price. How dare he only offer 70%? Observe carefully. Taiwu Dun looks closely and sees the blade gives off a cold but calm gleam. Strong but not aggressive. It's clearly the work of Swordsmith Villa. But before Dun Taiwu can say anything, voices raised from the crowd outside. You hear that? Only 70%. The Swordsmith Villa is not what it used to be. Maybe the shopkeeper's just bullying the artisan. The Champion Armaments have always been on good terms with Swordsmith Villa. Their headquarters are close by, and they wouldn't cause trouble for no reason. Hearing the chatter outside, the shopkeeper sighs quietly and says in a low voice, "There's been so many people coming in to sell weapons lately. We're still not sure if the last batch will even sell. This price is really the best we can offer. So there's a supply problem." Too much supply means a price drop. After some coaxing from another disciple, the angry one finally gives in, takes the money, grumbles under her breath, and storms out, slamming the door. Hares may pull dead lions by the beard, The champion armament keeper lets out a long sigh and gives Dihun Taiwu a tired smile. That disciple is really mad. Sounds like business hasn't been easy lately. The shopkeeper doesn't deny it, but gently touches the blade the artisan showed earlier, then lifts an oil lamp and shines it over the edge of the hilt. Look here, and here. Dihun Taiwu follows the light and sees rust spots on the blade. Not enough to ruin it, but enough to make this Swordsmith Villa's sword look like a cheap leftover from a back alley workshop. This sword has that much rust? Don't tell me it's not newly made. Shopkeeper gives a slight nod and says calmly, Swordsmith Villa disciples take pride in their craft and value skill above all. If they weren't desperate, they'd never try to sell something this old. It's a blow to their reputation. But you knew that and you bought it anyways? The shopkeeper sighs and nods. When the Champion's Armaments first founded, we signed an alliance with the Swordsmith Villa. Now that the villa urgently needs funds for the grand sword trial, it's only right that we step in to help. So it's really support just disguised as trade. The shopkeeper looks pleased to hear that and nods with a smile. That's right. Some old artisans at Swordsmith Villa have incredible skill and take pride in their work. They don't accept charity. So they brought out old weapons to sell. I can help move these pieces for them. That way I'm doing my part and they can keep their pride. With the champion armament's help, I guess the grand sword trial will go smoothly. The shopkeeper's smile stiffens a little, shaking its head. Well, this year's grand sword trial isn't like the previous ones. To be honest, Swordsmith Villa is facing serious trouble. Even with our help, we might not be able to turn things around. This surprises me. The shopkeeper sighs and nods. With the Champion Armaments was first founded, we signed an alliance. Oh, same thing. I heard a bit about the swordless trial before. Taiwu Dun explains everything about running into the former disciple at the tea stall and asks the shopkeeper where the letter's recipient lives. The shopkeeper takes the letter and sighs. A letter for his master, huh? Yeah, I know who it's for. He's one of the old artisan. He used to live around here, but he's a quiet, stubborn man, wholly devoted to his craft. He's already in his 60s, has many students, but no family. He hasn't been home in a long time. I see, where should I look for him? The shopkeeper thinks a moment. He still has a small workshop near Mount Zanlu. You could check there. If he's not at the workshop, try Swordsmith Villa. You're bound to find him eventually. Thanks. About that grand sword trial. At the mention of the grand sword trial, the keeper frowns, but tries to play it off. There's nothing you need to worry about. Things will work out in the end, right? Look here, I just bought a batch of old weapons. I have the boys melt them down and reforge them. Wow, they're buying and reforging Swordsmith Villa stuff. Youch. That's a hit to your pride. Maybe we'll get some decent blades out of them. The keeper quickly tucks the old swords back in the case, not wanting to show them. Maybe I can help out a bit on behalf of Champion Armaments? Sure. The shopkeeper looks surprised and laughs. Now, when has a shopkeeper ever asked a customer for help? But if you're serious, Champion Armaments thanks you for your kindness. Still, I can't take your money for nothing. We brought out a few weapons lately, and there's a bunch here we could sell. Go ahead, pick one. Think of it as a gift. Alright, you know what? Maybe we'll put on a blade as our third weapon. Maybe if we can fit the weight. We'll look at a blade. It's a tier 9. Okay. Not very exciting. These weapons are different from the usual ones. If tempered right, they'll become something great. But smithing method is strange and long lost. No one at our shop dares mess with it. If you come across something during your travels, maybe we'll be able to uncover its secrets. Thanks for the gift. I'll take my leave then. Break it down and reforge it? Yeah. Who knows? Maybe it'll be something good. We could use a blade on the off chance that we want to use one, so it's all right. Okay, some regional favor is tempting enough to pull me over there. Regional favor. Okay, so are you telling me to head here? Head to Fujian. I believe that's telling me to go there. I thought they were telling me to head back here, but okay. We can check that out. Following the champion armaments keeper's directions, Dihun Dun finds a place called Workshop. But now it's nothing more than a pile of blackened ruins, walls collapsed and beams fallen. In front of the wreckage stands a swordsmith villa disciple with a bag. You here to find someone to forge a sword? You're too late. What happened? The disciple squats down in sighs. The owner of the workshop was a senior from Swordsmith Villa. He thought the forge fire wasn't hot enough to make a celestial weapon, so he burned the whole place down himself. If you're looking for him, you'll have to go to Swordsmith Villa. That's way too extreme. Maybe the master's trying to forge a celestial weapon and has nothing left to lose. Or maybe he's just gone a little mad chasing perfection. Either way, if you want to buy a blade, you've come to the right place. I've got a good price, even more affordable than champion armaments. As he finishes talking, the disciple takes his bag and pulls out a few fancy weapons. The sunlight's strong right now, and Dun Taiwu gets a clear look, immediately recognizing them. These weapons are exactly like the old ones sold to champion armaments by Swordsmith Villa. Those swords look like antiques. The disciple freezes, stunned, then lets out a hapless sigh. Wow, you got sharp eyes. Alright, I'll be honest. We smuggled these out of Swordsmith Villa's warehouse. If we sold them openly under the sect's name, even as antiques, most folks in the martial world couldn't afford them. You're sneaking out warehouse weapons to sell? Aren't you afraid of getting punished? The disciple hangs his head and gives a bitter smile. Afraid? Of course I am, but the grand sword trial needs funding. It's not just me, my seniors and junior brothers are all doing the same. Pull out old unused gear from storage to sell. Some of the stuff we haven't even figured out how it works, but we've got no choice, we just need money. I've heard the grand sword trial, but I don't know it costs this much. The disciple starts counting on his fingers and sighs. To forge a celestial weapon, that's the whole point of the grand sword trial, but it's no easy task. Everything has to be perfect, from the forge tools, the furnace, even the workshop layout. During the process, the charcoal, the alloy, the materials, they all burn through it like water. The Swordsmith Villa wants to forge celestial weapons, that's fair, but still. The disciple cuts in and keeps talking, full of frustration. Those guilds raise prices every year, and the elders at the sect are stubborn. They won't raise our weapon prices to match. Meanwhile, they want us juniors to hit the same high standards every time. But we're not miracle workers, we can't spend money out thin air. Things are rough all around. The sect's in decline and not something that happened overnight. Swordsmith Villa has such great reputation, and yet you're struggling? The disciple slumps down, sitting his back against some rubble and letting out a long sigh as he looks at the sky. Great reputation, yeah. A few old artisans are true legends. They smith swords like Deep Azure, Divine Edge, Minolith, all divine swords famous enough to even rival Zanlu. But they just stay in workshops all day. They don't deal with running the place. So they leave all the hiring, spending, negotiations to us young folk. That surprises me. And it's not just that. Those old guys have nasty tempers, mood swings, yelling, cursing, beating students while teaching. It's already bad enough. And then you've got the Arcane, Battleforge, and Verdant Smiths. Each one's full of pride, always trying to outdo each other. Blacksmithing's already backbreaking work, and with all that drama, and a lot of sectmates just give up and left the furnace. That former disciple I met at the tea stall, he must have been one that gave up forging. Okay, so people are saying that we're gonna try to reforge that blade. Yeah, I assume so. You need to give the guy really good material to work with. If you save the best for last, you'll get a really good T1 weapon. I mean, we'll try. We'll try. That probably means I should also double check our materials that are in storage. If the Grand Sword trial costs so much and causes this much trouble, maybe it should be put on hold. The disciple shakes his head and sighs. We can't put it off. You might not know this, but legend says that after Nuwa created mankind, she left their struggles and sent a celestial being down to teach them craftsmanship. Master Oa received these divine skills, and with a few artisans founded Swordsmith Villa to help the world. That's why our sect holds the universe and our ancestors in high regard. We can't slack off, let alone cancel it. Nuwa sent a celestial down? That sounds like some ancient myth. How can you take that seriously? Well, each sect has its own traditions. Our records are written that way. Our master teaches that way. As disciples, we don't get to doubt it. Even if we don't believe it, we have to act like we do. I just wonder if Master O and Nuwa ever imagined a future where swordless trial would turn out like this. So the idea of a celestial being teaching craftsmanship, that's new to me. For what you're saying, it sounds like the sect's already falling apart. The disciple shakes his head, looking helpless. No good comes from airing dirty laundry. Sorry for the trouble. These swords, good or bad, still come from the hands of Swordsmith Villa. If you don't want them, I'll find another way to raise some money. Help where you can help. It's a small token. I just hope that will help Swordsmith Villa through the crisis. The disciple stares at the silver, stunned and moved. As he pulls out a leather wrap from his backpack, spreads it out, and reveals several fine weapons inside. Ah, this kindness. I can't let it be for nothing. I got a batch of old crafted weapons here. They're way better than the usual ones, just missing a few final steps. Pick one. All right, we'll take a sword this time. Yeah, people, please do a reminder. Let's keep spoilers to a minimum. Incomplete ancient sword. If I ever met a skilled artisan down the line, just hand them this weapon. I'm sure they'll help you finish it. Thanks. I can't change the fate of the swordless trial, but our masters will definitely help sword furnaces and push to craft celestial weapons. If you're looking for a workshop owner, you should head to Mount Zanlu. You'll find out what you're looking for there. And with that, the disciple gives a fist palm salute towards Dihun Taiwu, slings his bag, and slowly walks away. This is good. Okay, before I forget, we also wanted to look at our reagents for another reason. So let me sort by materials and let me dump that. Then we wanted to find a couple good materials for putting in some of our breakthroughs. What was it we were after? Was it force multiplier? I think it was force multiplier. Show me reagents. Okay, so the best things we have is a T3, a T4. We got 2 of those, and we got five T5s. Some boon copper, some peak iron. Maybe we'll just grab all this because it sounds like this might be useful for the current storyline. Weight is way too high. Okay, maybe we don't take 25 of those. How about we take 2 of those? Okay, what the heck else did I grab that was so heavy? It literally is the metal. Holy crap. Okay, give me like 2 of those. I guess we'll just grab a couple of them. That weight though, that is crazy. That is crazy amounts of weight. There's 100. Oh, it's the meta copper. Okay. That makes more sense. All right, but I don't think I want to carry around a whole bunch. I'm just grabbing it because I want to see what we can input. And probably we also need it here. Yeah, that's a new bug, Nate. That didn't exist on launch. I don't know what happened that broke that. The symbols are correct though. So like the symbol for agility is correct. You just have to recognize them from your character screen. I'll agree though, it's kind of annoying, isn't it? All right. Why do we have 2 different reflex silvers? That's a little weird. We also have 2 different kinds of metacopper. That's a little weird. Okay, breakthrough. Filter can be from anybody, but I want to see things that are equipped. All right, we broke through some annoying stuff last time. Steel Sacrifice was one of them, I believe. Okay, we put things in that one. Astral Evasion was another. All right. So for Astral Evasion, you give a bunch of dexterity and a bunch of force. Do we have anything that we can put in you that would boost that? And we wanted to specifically look at reagents. Force increase on reflex silvers 5%, 8%, 7%. Okay, we have quite a lot of glimmer dusk iron. Maybe that would be a good compromise. Boon copper also. 2 different warehouses. Okay. Okay, we had a lot of both of these. I think I'm willing to put one of these in there. So this will be a tier 2, and it will give us 7% extra force. So with 2 of those, that'll be a 14% increase. Penta iron gives what? It's a tier 3, and it gives 9%. But we don't want to use a tier 3 material for just a breakthrough thing right now. I'm not that rich. We're still in the poor phase of cultivation. I think we're going to do glimmer here. Glimmer dusk. A compromise between the 2. And we'll do the same on this one. Okay, well, hey, we doubled the power. And 1,240 force. Not bad. Not bad. Just want to see the bonuses. Yeah. Blue ones are cost efficient. What else? We broke through something else last time too. And universal stances. Yeah. In fact, while we're here, universal stances. I want to look at books. Probably just do this by name. Pulse, Jade, Classic. Apparently I have books in my personal. Why do I have books in my personal? All right, I'm not going to fix that now, but that is something of note. All right, universal stances. Do we have an extra? I have the one I read. I want the orthodox version of this. Okay, so we don't have an orthodox here. I want to find one of those. It's on me. I think it's going to be the same one though, right? Ursa, unfinished. No, I don't have a copy of it. Okay, I do want to see if I can find the orthodox version of that though. Apparently there's a bunch of junk here. Yeah, we'll take those. Yeah, come here, buddy. Time to go. Did you receive it from the Sikh martial arts? Probably. I don't remember. That was 20 hours ago and like 2 weeks. We'll see if we can find a copy that has... All I need is 3 orthodox chapters. Alright. Give me that junk. Okay. 7 energy will not get us there. Alright, let's roll our month, I think. They have one of each. Okay, yeah, we'll check in with one of our friends over at the sect. Rumors cut like ice and burn like fire. Oh, are you a ash person? We haven't ran across that yet. Can I tell that? Golden pheasant, chi, rude health. No, I think that's a trait, so I guess you're okay. You just got a beauty mark, let's call it. I've been diving into barefoot technique lately and making some real progress. Want me to share a bit? You want to tickle my toes? Okay, working on Taiwu 3. Not doing a lot of work on that one though. First trait, did she actually have it? I just didn't see it. Okay. 9 months Blackstone Ashtray. Are you still here? I do want to see that. That is not you. I want to see that. Oh, dirt. Yeah, sure. Can we actually heal these people? Since Zhongzhu unleashed chaos, some have been possessed and lost their mind. Some have drifted into oblivion, and some are unknowingly tainted by Blackstone Ash, a fatal substance that cannot be cured by any means once contracted. Due to this person will pass away in 9 months. I mean, she taught me about feet. We have to help her, right? Aspiration ability? Uh-oh. Well, that's not going to be good then. Acts of benevolence. Donate resources to gain regional favor with the target's region. Okay, that may actually be worth doing at some point. Blackstone Ash. Taiwu's will is greater than 0. Lai Shuyan's will tolerance is my will's greater than 0. Her tolerance is less than 72. I also adopt chicken. All right, well, I'll tell you what. Maybe let's cure her, and if we cure her, we'll ask for her chicken. What's the Coffin on Death story thing? Is that the Sanguine Sect story? If you're talking about the adventure we did, I think that was just an adventure. Requires a regional... Can only delay. Well, let's see. We haven't done one of these before, so let's learn. Li Xian, with glazed eyes and messy pulse rate, is surrounded by surging chi of death. These are symptoms of the Blackstone Ash infection. Blackstone Ash is cureless, but can be relieved by the Fuyu hilt for some time. Slow down the ravages. Wow, we would give her 1 month. We select Fuyu's will. I see. So I can spend my will stat to increase that. I'm not using my will currently. Sure. That's not your will stat? I see. It's Fuyu's will. Ah. I gotcha. Was talking about the title, missing the context? Yeah. Will recharges slower when killing demons, basically. Shinosuke says, I don't think it recharges from demons, so it's just a slow recuperation. All right, let's just do 1 so I can see what the mechanics are here, because this is new. This is all new screen to me here. All right, we'll make it slightly better for you. Got an achievement. The Fuyu's will has delayed the Blackstone Ash for some time. With the Blackstone Ash suffering relieved, Li Xian rises to express thanks and wants to gift Dihun Dun with one of her possessions. Would you accept the gift? Accept. All right, we could take something she owns. We'll take your tier 9 cricket. Yeah. Some silver, some herbs, some fabric. A letter of gratitude. Somebody was talking about these earlier. Having received grace of Taiwu, yet lacking adequate means to reciprocate at present, I hereby entrust this letter to express my heartfelt gratitude. By reading it attentively, you may also reflect upon the nuances of worldly wisdom and social norms, subtly broadening one's journey. Honestly, that's probably better than anything else she has. 600 silver. I think I'd rather have even a piddly amount of XP. Sure. Confirm. All right, we got a letter of gratitude. Regional favor gained. This is good. All right, but we're not done with you yet. Tell me about your chicken. Has to be at or above enthusiastic, and we need 10 energy. Okay, hang on. We'll share an insight quick. Have I told you about my jewel crafting? She didn't care very much about my jewel crafting. You are benevolent, and your traits are pretty good. Well, actually, no, they're not. What else can we compliment you on? Maybe disposition. We'll compliment your disposition. Okay, she likes that. All right. Now, about... All right, enough. Let's get down to brass tacks. How much for the chicken? The golden pheasant, you see, is treasure cherished by Shengzhou village. If you choose to adopt it, be sure to take good care of it. For 1,000 regional favor, I will adopt the chicken. The golden pheasant. That's kind of a cool looking bird. Adopt into Taiwu village. Okay, now, somebody was saying something about lifespan. Can I see where my lifespan is? We haven't been fiddling with anything that dangerous at present. Our current age is 28 years old. You can't see it. Okay. Lifespan is max health, but you can't see it. Hidden stat. Okay, gotcha. And every time we save somebody via that, it's going to cost us 4 years. Okay. Okie dokie. All right, so we need to head to the main sect. We got 15 energy. I might just rest here. Okay, let's do the rest of our stuff. We didn't do it this time. So our book, we did get Epiphany. I have room for extra comprehension. Let's go eat that other meal. It was something. I already forgot what it was that we found. I really should just... I need to find something I can buy a lot of supplies for and have a big stack of. Okay. This is going to be pretty important. If we're only getting 7 per time, that would be, what, 10, 13 durability to get through 1 chapter, and we need to do it twice. We do not have 13 well, actually, no, we do have 13 durability. We don't have 26. So we need to get through here a little lickety-split. I'm going to immediately target the right chapter this time. We can finish that easy enough. Yeah, yes, Israel. Lessons learned. Okay, logical inference. Cost less. Okay, if we go big, that can be good. Okay, no. That's fine. Study efficiency. Doubles the effects of things we have used. Increase the study efficiency of this chapter by a random amount. Increase the progress. Progress is probably better than efficiency. Increase the study progress. Increase study progress. Yeah, look at that. That one's pretty nice. So maybe we do a vocal reflection, a unique insight, and then we do the thing to double it. To increase... No, that's study efficiency. Maybe we do all 3 of these. We won't be able to lower the price, but that's fine. Right-click the chapter. What about it? That just closes... That just closes it. Just use 2 and save the last spot for the next Epiphany. Okay. I think we're gonna do these 3. That would be 20, 30, 40% done. Yeah. All right. Vocal reflection. Unique insight. Unique insight. 57% done. So if we do nothing else, 3 months, well, I'm not sure exactly how much. Let's say we're going to get 10%. That'd take us to 87. So 5 months would get us if we do nothing. We also have this, but I don't think I need anything down here yet. I don't think these will double. These are not, these are progress, not efficiency. And it's, that one is doubles the effects of strategies that increase efficiency. So those are not, that's not going to work with these, unfortunately. I made that mistake once before. That's true. We have a second copy of this, so if it comes to that, I will do that. For messy books like this, I use 2 progress epiphanies and then the removal epiphany, and then add more. Yeah, not a bad strategy. Okay, done there. Are we wounded? We are not. Industry, collect. We got some shrimp. Throw that right on the Barbie. All right, just more living stone. I have 47 of these. Are these sellable? Can I sell living stone? Because I honestly feel like we have some cash there. Yep. Wow, that guy. I don't know why I always right-click that screen 1 extra time. All right, you, buddy. Congratulations. As the idle people, you are the best one to run my book club. And we'll work on some more literacy. There you go. Apparently I have some kids here too. Get to work, kids. Bums. You sold some living stone? Okay, good. I mean, I don't need more than 5 and I already have a bajillion of them, so I may as well get rid of them. You got an aspiration that gives the extras? Yes. I didn't switch to it yet, though. I guess maybe we should for this, since this is actually kind of important. Where's my martial artists? It was this one. No, this isn't for reading. Never mind. No. I don't have the epiphany one. I have the circulation one. I'm gonna assume that probably comes from Scholar, if I had to guess. The higher the seniority, the higher ranked individuals you can rename. Increase the overall effect of book study and provide additional random study strategies. Yeah, I don't have that yet. We're getting there. We're about halfway through it. I do like this system. I like that these are like, almost always I look at the bonus, I'm like, ooh, I want that. That's good. That's good. The only one that I've kind of raised an eyebrow was the beggar one, but I'm sure that has its uses too. Okay. We need to get over here. We can make it if I don't dally too much. Okay. Well, no, you know what? I lied. We're not going to make it because I have not done this recently. I need to keep that on cooldown. Yoink. All right, and yeah, let's just roll the month. The beggar's ability to find people. Yeah, that's the one I keep thinking about. That does seem rather nice. Because that could be super annoying. Oh no, the wife wants to get drunk. All right, you can have my dang po honey liquor. Honey for the honey. I've learned a few things about the martial world lately. They got me thinking a lot. Let me tell you about them. We're gonna go study in the long reeds. Be right back. The moon hangs over the branches, all is silent. Okay. What do we got going on here? People are traveling. Debates. At some point, I'm going to be a little more willing to travel around, but I try to stay somewhat focused. This playthrough is going to be bajillion hours long, so if I start running around like crazy. Okay, speaking of running around like crazy though, we're over the 2-hour mark, and I definitely need some more coffee, so let's take our 5-minute break here. Maybe I'll leave you guys on the aspiration screen today. As usual, if you've been enjoying the stream, don't forget to leave a like on it. That does help a ton. I know it's such a rote thing for YouTubers to say, but they say it because it actually works. So I appreciate you if you take that second of effort there. While I'm doing that, we'll have a 5-minute timer, and you may see an ad during that. If you get one, I appreciate the pennies for sure. I don't have my screen open properly. Great job, Babel. There we go. All right, 5-minute break. I will be right back. I encourage you to get up, get a stretch and a drink. We've been here for 2 hours, so do the healthy option. All right, hopefully you guys had a good break. I totally read your comment, Israel, and I was like, what the heck is he talking about? I totally built that building. Yeah, I did show it on stream the other day, but it's all right. I'll grab it and show you. So, not sponsored. Reach out, Displate. But yeah, it's the exact same one from the tome. I've had this for quite a while, actually. I was waiting to hang it up. Oh, where's my secret tome? I was waiting to hang it up until after my remodel work was happening, which isn't going to happen this summer, so maybe it's time I figure out where I'm going to hang it up. But yeah, it's a really cool piece of art. I really like that. Oh, freak. So yeah, I really like that one. It's still in its wrapper because, like I said, I haven't decided where I'm going to put it. I don't want to lose all the magnets and whatnot. But yeah, I like those. Look nice and pretty durable, so. Displate, reach out to me. Yep. I also remember the other night when we were doing Cultist Simulator, I talked about my Midnight collection from Dr. Seuss, and I didn't show that off either, so at some point I'll have to get that. That one I actually do have hanging, so I'd have to go take that one down. How's the owner of that book? Well, I am not corrupted, Haas, I'll have you know. Or you're talking about this one. This one's already crazy. Yeah, we're probably not playing with that one. Not anytime soon, that's for sure. Okay, let's get back to it. We were heading over here. Zoom a little bit here. Pick up some garbage on the way. I don't care enough to go out of my way. Well, I guess we need to go over one anyways. There are things here. All right, what do you got? We didn't find a relic. Be like that then. I was just about to ask about the painting. Yeah, I'll show that one another time, because I have to actually get that one off the wall. It's a little bit of a pain to hang. Yeah, we've had a couple people come after the tome, but they haven't been like too relentless. Okay, here we go. A crystal long holds the land, and smoke curls to the clouds. Like flags it stands. Riding the wind, it stirs green flame. Essences refined, cold light it claims. Sweet rains down the metal boils. Silver and bronze weigh on the spine. When shall the sword rise, I drift afar, to speak once more of age and all its scars. Back on the peak of Zanlu, dozens of sword furnaces stretch out in a line. Smoke and fire blur with the red clouds at sunset, covering every artisan here in a restless glow. Hammers rise and fall, sparks fly, endless work, no one in sight. While Dihun Taiwu is lost in thought, a disciple rushes by carrying forging materials, panting hard around Taiwu Dun. Disciple suddenly stops, turns around, stares at Taiwu Dun in shock. Are you the successor of Taiwu? Oh no! Things are crazy at the sect today. We failed to arrange someone to guide you. Please forgive us. Are you here for the grand sword trial? Please come in. Show them the letter. I'm not here for the trial, but I'll win it if I have to. I've heard people say, when there's trouble, the successor of Taiwu will lend a hand. Disciple looks a little let down, muttering. Then they take the letter and say, this letter's for my master. Just right, I was about to deliver some materials. Please come with me. Looks pretty busy right now. Disciple wipes sweat from their forehead and nods. Right, because of the grand sword trial, our forge fires have been burning non-stop for 7 days. Most of the junior disciples have already worn out. Even the masters haven't slept in days, but the celestial weapon still won't form. It's never been like this before. We don't even know what's gone wrong. Master says today's swords lack divine essence of Master O's work, so they can't become true celestial weapons. The Battleforge Smith elders say that craftsmanship has declined, and we're not at Master Ao's level when he forged Zanlu. But the Verdant Smith elders say the problem lies in our sincerity. Only when we are sincere can a celestial weapon be born. It takes a lot more than metal to forge a blade. I've heard people say, oh, same thing. Do you know the one who wrote the letter? After saying that, The disciple sighs, nods, and asks, "My senior brother, is he doing okay down the mountain? Last time he argued with Master about the grand sword trial. Just a few days later, he left. Since then, Master never mentions him, but he keeps his room just the way he left it. He opened a tea stall. The tea and snacks there are pretty nice." Disciple's tired eyes light up with a smile. Good. That's good to hear. Once I master my craft, I'll definitely go ask him for a cup of tea. With that, the disciple turns their head away, staring into the distance, a bit of sadness showing on their brow. I've heard people say when they're... Oh. Fool me twice. Follow the disciple, lead the way. Hearing that, the disciple grits their teeth, lifts the materials higher, and starts walking. Even as they go, they remind, Master's been at the furnace too long. He's got a fiery temper. It's not easy to get along with. A lot of Zike come here to help us prepare for the grand sword trial, but he drove them away in the end. Successor Taiwu, just watch your words and think twice before you act. This guy's once burned down his own workshop. How out of a temper can he possibly be? He looks like the type. I promise to destroy the Veil sects for stealing your book. Their quest is amazing. You won't be disappointed. After saying that, the disciple speeds up and quickly leads Dihun Dun forward. Up ahead by the sword furnace, a group of disciples are busy working, sorting lead, refining clay, managing the fire, and pouring molten metal. It's a scene of pure chaos. At the front stands an elderly artisan, hammer in one hand, tongs in the other, swinging like the wind as he strikes at a glowing chunk of molten iron. Hearing two approaching, the old man doesn't even lift his head and says gruffly, "Dragging your feet just to move some scrap? Go drink some water in the back, rest for a bit, get over here and help." That's pretty fine. He's even letting the guy have some water. Someone sent you a letter. A letter? I got no family, no friends. Who'd send me a letter? Hand it over. Hearing Dun Taiwu speak, the old man frowns and calls everyone to stop working. Stop. I have a letter. Everyone stop. I will read the letter. The disciples stop what they're doing and gather around the water vat, scooping up water and complaining about how tired they are. The old man grabs the dirty rag from his shoulder, wipes his sweat, takes the letter with his rough, blackened hands, and reads it word by word. After finishing reading the letter, the old man folds it up, puts it in his pocket. His expression softens a little and he says, "That brat, always spouting nonsense. But still, at least he's got a conscience. He actually remembered to write me. Successor Taiwu, thanks for delivering this. It's the least I could do." After saying that, the old man sits down heavily by the furnace and lets out another sigh. "You've delivered the letter, so the credit is yours. No need to act so modest. The brat used to be just like you, run around everywhere for the sake of the sect. Whenever people praise him, he'd just brush it off. I heard you two had a falling out over the trial?" The moment he hears grand sword trial, the old man flares up. He jabs a finger at the furnace and snaps, "A falling out? What's there to argue about? That brat doesn't know his place. He couldn't forge anything decent, yet he wanted to cancel the grand sword trial that's been passed down since Master Ao. Outrageous. Cancel it? What's his reason?" Hearing that, the old man frowns deeply, slapped the side of the furnace and scoffs. Reason? He had plenty of those. First, it was that the guild raised the price of the materials and the sect's funds were short. He said we couldn't afford it. Then he claimed the grand sword trial was just a name and there was no real celestial weapons in it. And lastly, he even said I was too old and weak to keep going. Swordsmith's Villa is built on craftsmanship. Skill does matter. The old man nods repeatedly and agrees. Exactly, sure. That brat's still inexperienced. He couldn't forge anything famous yet, but that's normal. Back when I was still learning, if my master said one word, I wouldn't dare say two. Now, look at that brat. I say one, he comes back with a whole speech. That's ridiculous. The moment he hears that word, grand sword, yeah. But does the grand sword trial really have to go on no matter what? The old man shakes his head and raises his hand, calling over a disciple. Talking proves nothing. You, come here. Go spar with the successor of Taiwu. Taiwu, give this one round. Whatever doubts you have will be cleared up later. You're having me duel a arcane smith? If that's the case, then I won't say no. 240, okay, we have a chance if that's his actual stats. Hearing that, the disciple drops their forging materials in shock. Me? Spar the successor of Taiwu? Master, I was strong. I swear I'll never slack off on... on moving materials again. I'll never interrupt you when you're talking either. Please don't punish me. I like this kid. But the old man says, expressionless, staring down until the disciples shaking, finally pulls out their weapon. Only then does the old man nod in satisfaction, look at Dihun Dun. It's just a friendly spar, no risk of dying, don't panic. Thunk, thunk, thunk. Why are you panicking, though? Okay, so we are about evenly matched. I'm fighting up 4, though. Reduces direct damage dealt by 33%. That is gonna suck. Okay, astral evasion immediately. All right, well, just like everything, we will treat this very seriously. All right, buddy, what do you got? Oh, only 2 hypes? Wow. Okay, but we did 100%. Okay, you are really weak then. We actually got 100%. We never get 100%. Nobody ever lets us actually hit them. Did we find a lazy arcane smith? Is that what this is? You haven't been doing your practice, I see. Okay, come on. We need 1 more. Chi Blade Style. A tier 4 annihilation from Swordsmith. Uses mostly force. This is something we might get in the future. This is a blade art, not a sword art. Continuously increases the unleashing progress of all the blades. Inhale and stance cost required are reduced by 25%. If either side has pincers, talisman, or pestle arts, the effect is doubled. When unleashing any blade, the amount... Okay. Not stellar, in my opinion. What's his style? Being a nerd. Although that looks really cool. What's the style cost? Chi Blade Style wants 3 hacks. I'm not very impressed by those abilities. That would be like, pick that up to directly counter someone, I suppose. Dude, you are really weak. Like, I'm worried I'm gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna unleash because it's a friendly spar, but what's the percentage power that our thing is at? Can I see it from here? No. Our Thunderous Juke is at 252%. I could. I guess I'm just blind. All right. I think we win right here, especially if we get the full hype squad. There it is. There it is. Hype. And if we don't beat you up, we'll throw our skill on, but we did beat you up. Right above the key and physical pin. The smith seems like they're not wearing any armor, probably sold it. Did we join a sect of pores? Oh no. Red Owl Vest. I mean, it's not terrible. Cloud clear, not useful. After trading blows for a while, the disciple runs out of strength and collapses to the ground. The old man sees this, scowls, and says, "It's over, stop. This one's already out, one of the more skilled among my disciples, but they still lost you that easily? Successor of Taiwu? Do you know why? There could be many reasons, I'm not sure which one you mean. Because of the Taiwu inheritance. The old artisan glances over at Dihun Dun as he speaks, a complicated look in his eyes. Having traveled across all 15 sects, studied every martial art out there, the successor of Taiwu passes down the Fuyu hilt through the generations. After 100 years, this inheritance alone was enough to make every Taiwu unmatched in all the land. It truly wields such power. Seeing Dihun Dun nod in agreement, the old artisan chuckles and says proudly, "But you're not the only one to get that inheritance. Back in the day, our founder, O Yazi, was taught divine crafting skills by celestial being and forged the celestial weapons on Lu. Now, thanks to Master O's foundation, we're way ahead of the average artisan. Just look, any famous weapon out there today, isn't it made by us? Most of the big-name weapons really are made by Swordsmith. But legacy isn't about what your ancestors left you. Even with the Taiwu inheritance in your hands, you still gotta train hard, slay demons, and risk your life for that title. The same goes for Master U's inheritance. If you take it on, you have to hold a grand sword trial to keep his will alive. Otherwise, the legacy dies out. What are we gonna do, go beg our ancestors for a second chance?" Just as the old artisan finishes his passionate speech, he suddenly turns serious. He picks up a bunch of weapons from the forge and shifts topic. "Successor of Taiwu, these are test weapons I forged, following Master U's old methods. Delivering a message is no easy task. Why not pick one? I guess we'll take another sword." You're really filling up my inventory with these. After Dun Taiwu picks up a weapon, the old man's face twists with emotion, says, "They may look good, but a few steps in the process of final temperance weren't written down. That means they'll never truly be finished. Without a real artisan to fix them, they'll always be second rate. So no matter how reasonable that brat sounds, I will never let the Swordsmith Villa break Master O's inheritance. Since the Grand Sword Trial is part of Master U's inheritance, looks like it can't be put off." Right after the old artisan says that, Dun Taiwu notices two more elder artisans walk out from behind the furnace. They laugh and say, "Well said, old guy. That hit me right in the feels. Oh no, right in my feels. With all that fire in your words, I thought you arcane smiths already made a celestial weapon. Got me all excited for nothing." Sounds like the other artisans feel the same way. All three of them are over 50, white hair and calloused hands, but their eyes shine like fire in the furnace, sharp and full of life. Then, the old artisan raises his hammer and calls out, "As for that brat talking nonsense about the swordless trial, nonsense. I'll forge a celestial weapon myself and shut them all up. Disciples of the arcane smith, gear up and follow me down the mountain. I'm picking the materials myself to forge a celestial weapon." A sect of pores. Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's like, yeah, it's like the British nobility in like the 1920s, where like they had to maintain that they were still rich and had lots of money, but they were all like absolutely dirt poor and couldn't actually afford anything and were going horrendously into debt. To use those weapon parts. Okay. Can you check what his smithing attainment is? Not in this screen, at least. Alright, well, good luck, buddy. The disciple groans, but no one dares let their master go alone. They rush to bring carts, carry furnaces, and haul materials, then follow the arcane smith artisan down the mountain. With the chaos started, the other old artisans jump in too, raising their arms and shouting, "Disciples of Battleforge Smith, move it! We're going down too. We're not gonna let that old guy beat us. Disciples of Verdant Smith, we're not gonna sit around either. No more sticking to the workshops. We're heading down today." Opposite of Wandering Sword, where the manor was rich as hell. Yeah. Well, they're not in their like collapse phase. Although their heiress was dying, so you know that's probably not good. As they shout, things get even messier. There's yelling, groaning, footsteps, clanging of metal all mixed together. The blazing firelight from before dims in a flash, revealing the starry night sky. For a moment, Dihun Dun feels like the noisy mess doesn't belong in such a quiet, endless night. Show the world what Swordsmith's Villa's made of. Arcane Smith, you geezer. Who says this sect is yours? Shameless. I'm not complaining, you disciples can't either. No more whining. Some of the elder artisans treat the idea of the swordless trial as nonsense. They believe in carrying on the legacy of Master O to the letter, but the younger disciples have been selling resources down the mountain just to make ends meet. Watching them rushing outside, Dihun Dun starts to feel something's off. There's no clear answer yet. Might as well stay here and look into it before deciding what to do. Wait at Swordsmith Villa. Okay, can do. Can do. There's a legendary treasure may be found. Alright. Let's try our thingamabobber here. Choose and directly obtain any item that can be excavated. 10 energy. Yes. New tools for jade working. Only one lost chapter. We own 4 of these. That's a little unfortunate. And I've already read it. Swords making. It's a chi art. Alright, well, we'll still take the legendary. Oh, it costs 5,000 XP? Alright, that's fine. Yeah, exactly. It's a reference book. Okay. 26 comprehension. I think we're just gonna let the month roll over here. Let's just grab our stuff. Everyone's working. I am not injured. Alright. Since I need to wait here anyways, let's just roll the month. I'm still a little sour that Yi didn't get the harem ending because of an encounter that there's absolutely no way I could have known that we missed. Like, it was like after the DLC, you had to go to a random bamboo place and have a scene. I'm a little salty about that. I've been diving into Imminence Lock lately and making some real progress. Want me to share it with you? Yeah, kid. I would appreciate that. Starts to get the hang of it. Masters Imminence Lock. He taught me a purple. I've been training Mystic Tai sword recently and found something useful. Let me teach you. Accept. I've been studying the Chi blade styles lately, making some real progress. Want me to share it with you? Accept. Everyone just wants to teach. Yes. All right. I think we won the sword duel. Wife is pregnant. One day, Zhu Quinn suddenly feels a sharp pain in her belly. After resting and checking carefully, she realizes she's with baby. She is with child. I must take good care of her. This one is forged in the fires of Swordsmith. It's got to be a son. We're still having nights of intimacy. Probably should hold off on that, buddy. That day, leaves fall without sound. Drizzle lingers in the air. Taiwu Dun sits quietly at the pavilion at Mount Zhonglu. Suddenly, the debate around swordless trial has gotten a lot louder. Some say hold it, some say don't. Some think it'll work out, some say it won't. Only the rain manages to separate people long enough to bring peace. Still, no one knows where the old artisans are. As Dihun Dun starts feeling overwhelmed by the mess and begins thinking of leaving, he spots a few figures up ahead. One of them is round and familiar looking. Successor of Taiwu, what a fated meeting. Turns out it's Gongshu's caravan keeper. Obviously. Gongshu's caravan keeper walks up with a big grin, ignoring the rain and leaving his umbrella boy behind. He greets warmly. There's been a lot of interesting stuff going on at the Gongshu caravan lately. I was planning to throw a banquet and invite you, but the guild's been a mess and I haven't had time. I hope you can forgive me, successor of Taiwu. Still, running into you at Mount Zhonglu, it must be fate. That's okay. Why have you come all the way to Mount Zhonglu yourself? There must be some serious business. Gongshu's caravan keeper pulls out a handkerchief, wipes his face, and smiles. Of course it's serious business. We're not the champion's armaments, and we don't usually deal with sects. But hey, we're merchants. No profit, no action. If it weren't for the Grand Sword Trial, I wouldn't have come all the way from King Zhao, climbing the long Mount Zhonglu in the rain. Do the weapons forged during Grand Trial have any use? No, not at all. The shopkeeper chuckles and waves his hand. Two servants bring out a large embroidered box. Once the lid is open, Dihun Dun sees a severed head that the merchant is selling. Sees a bronze sculpture inside. It's a wide face, big ears, and a cute look. That's cute. Is Dune one of those characters that thinks that weird things are cute? Hearing that, the shopkeeper rubs his hands together and says enthusiastically, "This is a bronze mechanism I bought for a high price from the swordsmith villa. What do you think? It looks more vintage and grand than the common stuff." "I've never seen them make anything like this." The shopkeeper strokes his beard and smiles, clearly enjoying Dun Taiwu's puzzled look. This was gathering dust at the bottom of a storage crate. No one cared for it, but the swordsmith villa needed funds to host the trial, so they sold a bunch of ancient gear, this included. I always thought their mechanisms were all about killing, but this one's way too clumsy for that. That's why I figured it must be hiding something nice. Once I hand it over to our artisans to disassemble and study it, well, that secret might just turn into a profit. Ho 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 ho. I see. Yeah, I got that, Gray. After showing off a bit, the shopkeeper waves his servants away, then sits down comfortably in the pavilion and says with a grin, "I was planning to buy more materials from the sect to flip for a profit, but who'd have guessed Successor Taiwu got the news before I did and beat me up the mountain. So, find anything good? Get your hands on any treasures? I'll tell him about what's happening." Guangshu's caravan keeper originally thought that outsiders going up to the declining swordsmith villa were all there to make a quick buck, but after chatting with Dihun Dun, he hears about the importance of the trial and the sect's legacy. His eyebrows knit together and he lets out a dry laugh. The swordsmith villa always believes in honoring the craft. According to their traditions, disciples shouldn't be stopped from proving their skills. But back when Master Al was part of the Grand Sword Trial, there were maybe 10 people tops. These days, the sect's packed, hundreds, maybe thousands. Everyone's forging swords and everyone's trying them out. If they keep hosting these trials like this, their warehouse is going to run dry. That's true, maybe the tradition needs an update. The shopkeeper twists his beard, squints his eyes, and chuckles. How would you update it? Stop the lower ranks from joining? Or make them pay out of pocket for their own sword furnace and fuel? And if we tweak the system, is it still the same Oi's inheritance? Successor Taiwu, running a sect won't be easy. What should be passed on isn't the rituals, but the spirit and aspiration of the ancestors. The shopkeeper frowns and says helplessly, well, yeah, but if Swordsmith Villa changes things and stops sticking to tradition, then folks like us won't be able to squeeze any profit. Stunned into silence. You don't seem to agree with this O's inheritance. The shopkeeper goes quiet for a while and then says, back when Zhongshu threw the world into chaos and the dark flames swept the lands, more than half of the local artisans died, and many fine arts were lost. A few of my elders saw an opportunity and worked hard to gather the remaining artisans across the land. That's how we managed to preserve some of these dying fine arts until now. It's not that I don't care about legacy, it's just people come and go and times rise and fall, but money, it's round on the outside and square in the middle. It works a lot better than most things. He's like, that cash. Okay. The shopkeeper twists his beard, squints his eyes, and chuckles. How would you update it? Stop the lower rank? Oh, we read that. Fall silent, deep in thought. Guangshu's caravan keeper's words aren't without reason. The ancestors passed down their craft and traditions with good intentions, but over time, the inheritance has shifted. Still, what was the original spirits of Taiwu inheritance? Have I already crossed the line of tradition, forgetting why I started? As Taiwu Dun falls deep into thought, the shopkeeper leans forward and gently asks, so, does that mean you made up your mind about getting involved in the sword trial mess? Do what I can, leave the rest to fate. Lending a hand doesn't mean I'm involved in it. Seeing Dun Taiwu nod in agreement, Guangshu's caravan keeper looks uneasy. He quickly waves over a servant and tells them to bring an umbrella and wait nearby. Can't fight fate. Successor Taiwu carries the burden of saving the world, and every sect and guild has their own little dramas. If everyone holds up the mountain for 10 days or so, won't people down below suffer for another 5 or 10 years? If you're set on getting involved, at least figure out where this old inheritance came from before making your move, all right? Come this way, please. Follow him. After saying that, the shopkeeper gets up and slowly leads Taiwu Dun down to the ancestral forge. Mist thickens the air, rain mixes with the heat rising from the furnace, blurring the giant sword at the center, the symbol of Swordsmith Villa. The shopkeeper narrows his eyes and walks slowly, then suddenly asks, Successor Taiwu, if I may be bold, how much do you actually know about the diagrams of the lost book of Ao Yi Zi? This kid's already a tier 4 martial artist? Yeah, what are they feeding these kids? You found a whole village run by children. It's like Lord of the Flies. That chapter's way too complex. Have you seriously understood it? The shopkeeper laughs. No, you got it wrong. I just watched the shop. My skills don't even compare to the artisans of Gong Shu's caravan. I wouldn't dream of debating with you. Looks like I got the upper hand here. He narrows his eyes and drags his words out. But there's something you ought to know. Yu Yezi forged his legacy on metal and skill, built this place up from the ground, gathered brilliant artisans from all around. Those diagrams in the lost book of Ao Yezi, they weren't written by him. They were compiled by later generations who studied his crafts. And those crafts, they weren't discovered by Yao Yuzi or the first batch of artisans. They were taught by the celestial being. Celestial being? While chatting, the two of you arrive at the ancestral forge. Mist rises from the furnace, covering the sky, and the flames inside are no longer as bright as they once were. The shopkeeper lifts his right hand and points towards the towering, solemn black silhouette. That's right. First came the divine power of the celestial being, then came the disciples. Before joining the sect, I had my servants ask around, so I know quite a bit about the inner workings of the sect. Inside the sword furnace stands a giant sword, a gift from the heavens when the celestial being passed on their craft. But blessings and misfortunes don't come on their own. People bring it upon themselves. If the sword was a gift from heaven, does it have any kind of power? The shopkeeper nods repeatedly and leads Taiwu Dun closer. He reaches out and gently touches the long scratches on the sword. This sword may look big and useless, but it's actually a sword testing stone from the celestial being. It can read a weapon's spirit and identify its rank. Every sword made in the sect must be tested here during the grand sword trial. If a sword can leave a 5 chi long scratch on the stone without a dent, it's said to rival Ao Yezi's Zanlu and truly qualifies as a divine weapon. So that's it, the giant sword is actually a testing stone. The shopkeeper looks at the sword, his expression hard to read. Since the sect was founded, this sword has stood here, no matter how many generations of disciples have come and gone. Some say it came from the heavens and is a blessing for Swordsmith Villa disciples. Others believe the embodiment of heaven's will, and the rise and fall of the sect's fate is tied to it, not up to us mortals. The Swordsmith's fate is really that mystical? I see. While chatting, the two of you arrive at the ancestral forge. Mist rises from the furnace, covering the sky. The flames inside are no longer as bright. Okay, we've actually read that before. Man, I hate how that circles back on me. The shopkeeper chuckles and steps in closer, lowering his voice. This was supposed to be a sect secret, but I managed to find out. Back when the celestial being descended to pass on their craft, they strictly forbade anyone from practicing the heavenly mechanism, calling it a wicked art. But now, Swordsmith Villa acts like it's holding this grand sword trial to honor tradition, when really they've gone all in on mechanism researching using forbidden arts. The heaven mechanism arts are wicked arts! The shopkeeper quickly puts his fingers, shh, quiet down. I don't know exactly what makes it wicked, but think about it. Back in the day, Swordsmith Villa forged celestial weapons like Deep Azure, Ivory Shade, and Minaneth. Now they can't make a single celestial weapon. The place has fallen apart. Who's to say that it isn't heaven's punishment? I'm on to you, Mateus, leading me astray, tempting us off the path of the righteous. I'm watching you. Making weapons needs heaven's permission? I see. While chatting, the two of them arrive at the ancestral forge. Mist rises from the furnace covering the sky, and the flames inside are no longer as bright. Son of a gun. The sword trial has a lot more going on behind the scenes than I thought. The shopkeeper nods and sighs. Swordsmith Villa is in trouble, and it's not something you or I can fix. Besides, even if you save Mount Zanlu, there are thousands more out there. The Taiwu inheritance carries the duty to save the world. If anything, others should be stepping in to help you. This situation, Swordsmith Villa brought it on themselves. If you insist on dragging yourself down to help them, isn't that just foolish? The will of heavens is constant. It has nothing to do with right or wrong. Just go with the flow and don't hold you back. Save who you can save, punish who you can punish. The shopkeeper hears this, scratches his beard, and stares blankly, totally lost. At that moment, a servant rushes over and whispers something. The shopkeeper turns around, smile. If you're really set on stepping in, I actually have a deal. Something that benefits all three sides. I just need the successor Taiwu to agree. Go on, I'm listening. The celestial beings warn them about AI. The shopkeeper waves his hand. The servant presents a brocade box to Taiwu Dun. The Guangzhou caravan just received word. This bronze mechanism, aside from the head, has a body and limbs, but the other parts have already been bought up by other guilds for all sorts of reasons. I want to gather all the parts and uncover the secret behind it. But with the 7 guilds constantly fighting over profits, there's no way I can show up in person. I hope the successor of Taiwu can step in and buy the other parts. How does this benefit all 3 sides? The shopkeeper chuckles and smoothly lays out all the pros and cons. At the Guangzhou's caravan, we always do business with sincerity. For this trip, we'll cover all costs, buying the parts, travel, expenses, everything. Once you gather all bronze pieces, you can name your price. As long as you don't ask for more than 3 times what we paid, we will pay in full. And anything beyond that goes straight to Taiwu's inheritance. That's one side. Sounds like they're dead set on getting it. As the old saying goes, united we profit, divided we fall. I don't know why the mechanism was sold off in parts, but even one piece gets lost, the craftsmanship might be lost forever. If you can gather them all, I'll help with Swordsmithville carry out on its legacy. That's the next one. The shopkeeper stands tall, lifts both hands, and raises his voice. Once the Guangzhou's caravan cracks the craft behind it, we can build mechanical replica relics to help people fight off the Blackstone Plague and Zongshu disaster. That's how we bring hope to the world. We're gonna have a rise of robot soldiers to fight demons. All right, sounds convincing, but notice how he skips over Guangzhou caravan's own profits. Got it. The shopkeeper waves his hand and a servant presents. Since when did the 7 guilds stop being against each other? The shopkeeper hears this, face full of worry and sighs. Where there's profit, there's always trouble. You're strong. No one's brave enough to mess with you. I'm just a lowly shopkeeper of Guangzhou's caravan. I've got some luck, sure, but that can only make me a bigger target for swindlers and cheats. We haven't even settled the last issue, and now he's dragging Pavilion of Wonders into it. So what's this about? Stay silent. Dun Taiwu looks into the bronze head's eyes and starts to feel suspicious. At first, swordsmiths artisans were split into 2 factions, each saying different things. No one could say for sure whether Master O's inheritance was a blessing or a curse. That alone made it hard to decide. But now the shopkeeper is bringing in the celestial teachings and dragging the 7 guilds into the whole mess. It feels like he's trying to push Dun Taiwu out of the swordsmith on purpose. All this reasoning and sweet talk just because you're afraid I'll get away with his profits. This is gonna be quite a tough job. Gonna smooth things over from top to bottom. Here, 72,900 silver, just a little something from me. I hope the successor of Taiwu will kindly accept it. Seeing Dun Taiwu still deep in thought, the shopkeeper grows anxious. He quickly waves over a servant who hands the embroidered money pouches. The shopkeeper places them in Taiwu Dun's hands. This only makes Taiwu Dun more suspicious. Pocket change? Not for me. I'm kind of poor. I'm really poor. Before Taiwu Dun can say anything or refuse, he already sends the servant away. Shopkeeper, are you trying to send me off just so you can gut Swordsmith Villa behind my back? Yo. The shopkeeper shivers, his whole body jingling, eyes darting around, and nothing to say in his defense. He slumps a little and lets out a long sigh. No, of course not. That's not true at all. I mean, Swordsmith Villa isn't exactly your property, is it? It's just, well, you know how the rumors go. Wherever you show up, trouble tends to follow. We merchants don't take big risks when things are always so this unpredictable. Swordsmith Villa swore to fight the demons with Taiwu. I can't let the guilds eat them alive. The Guangzhou caravans always respected Taiwu's name. If we can't profit off Swordsmith Villa, then so be it. We'll just let it go. Don't lay a finger on Swordsmith Villa. I'll track down the bronze mechanisms for you. Deal? If that's how it is, very well. As they say, even the cleanest judge can't handle a family dispute. With the Swordsmith Villa caught in internal chaos, Taiwu Dun can't really interfere, but when it comes to outsider guilds trying to push their weight around, that's something he can step in and handle. Hearing this, the shopkeeper tries to pull himself together and says, Pavilion of Wonders headquarters is in Jingling. Now that Swordsmith Villa is selling off bronze mechanisms by different parts, their shopkeepers there definitely won't be sitting idle. Successor of Taiwu, why not start in Jingling and buy back the pieces from there? Everyone at Guangzhou Caravan will be waiting for good news. This is good. We have a bronze head. Mechanical head made of bronze, ancient in style and finely crafted features. Well, it resembles a sculpture. A glimpse into a neck reveals an intricate and sophisticated internal mechanism. Okay, lots of things happening. Secret tome snatch. Oh, you got. Sucks to suck. Okay, so wait for some time. Collect all the bronze components, wait for some time before departing. To collect all the bronze components, wait for some time before you depart. Okay. We are continuing to run our thing. We have some comprehension, so I probably want to run one of these for 150%. Or is it better to Epiphany? It might be better to Epiphany. I guess let's see what we have. Okay, so we could go to this chapter. We could give it some vocal reflection. That's probably the best one in all honesty. At the cost of extra durability. 40% though. That's probably worth it. Okay. So we do a vocal and a diligent. That's 60%. Do the Epiphany. 40% is absolutely worth it. Yeah. I think we do all three of these. So to do that, I need 25, 45. So I need to get a little more comprehension. Do I have anything left? Dun's a hungry boy. Agility, strength, agility, comprehension. I'm gonna have to overcap a little bit. Okay, so that's 20 recovery. I could do a little bit of studying and then pop that. What is my maximum? 55. So I need to get to 35. So we just need to study 3 times. No, I need to study once. One study. And then we eat. It was fish. Yes. Consume. Okay. We go to our Epiphany. We go to the last chapter. We do a diligent search. We do a vocal reflection. And we do a unique insight. Boom. Oh man, we lucked out on the random amount. That's only 2 durability worth here. Next month, these are going to wear out. If I can get enough comprehension, we might actually be able to finish this via an Epiphany. Okay. We really could use some comprehension food, though. You happen to have a place I can buy a bite to eat? They do not have a place I can buy a bite to eat. Any merchants around? Not really. No chance. That sucks. Yeah, I've been pretty lucky that we haven't accidentally lost our book. I do. Okay, yeah, that's true. I guess I could cook it myself. What am I even thinking? Fine, I'll just do it myself. Yeah, that's a really good point. Okay, so I want in my private treasury. Yeah, in my private vault from my travel bag. I want to drop the food stuff. Let's filter. Okay, I literally have 1 piece of food. Okay, well, there you go. I just dumped it, so that makes sense. Okay, medical, we're not hurt. Industry, collect. A rosary pea. Yin poison. Okay, and we got 1 verdant plant. You're nice, but you're very ugly. All right, we'll take pity. Okay, 1 plant. Then let's get cooking. Craft. All right, now. Okay, wheat, eggs. Are there... Okay, so there are multiple recipes that cook. I guess we just... That's willpower. Yeah, like this one would be super good. I can make literally one of them because I have 1 soybean. All right. Wincy tofu soup. Okay, and then we minus that out. We click here. I think I'm gonna just focus craft a little bit rather than making everything this time around. Just give me things that give me comprehension. Willpower, roots. Who uses a bunch of root? Like, I have a terrible root, but it really has not come up. Like, hardly at all. Maybe we've used our root like once. Constitution, constitution. Yeah, these are all like meat dishes. I think fish might work. Comprehension. All right, so this is below the Auntie Song's fish stew. I make 2 of those. Auntie's fish stew. Okay. Willpower, roots, strength, agility, constitution, strength, constitution. I do really want every last bit we can get here. Comprehension. Okay, so spiked fish, and we're looking at Pernella shrimp is the one below it. Ooh, 10 of these. Yes. Okay, that's enough for now. We're very happy with that. Wu Dang, Shaolin, Jade Maiden, Flower Rye. So that's definitely much more of an inner one, correct? That's like your inner art strength, kind of like my constitution is mine. All right, we got 1 guy who has nothing to do for now. We're just gonna throw him in here. Yeah. Root affects a few chi stats. Yeah, that makes sense, right? You know, your elemental roots in most stories. Okay. If we did a reading here, we'd get 150% efficiency. So that would be 13%. So that'd be 86. Probably still worth it. Okay, I can fit 45 comprehension and I heal 15. So I can fit 30. I don't need it now. We'll eat it next month. Wait for the epiphany reset. Okay. We need to kind of like bum around here for a little bit though, unfortunately. Maybe we'll go cricket catching, or we could work on talking to some people. Another thing we wanted to do. Yeah. Hey, friend. I'd like to seek martial arts from you. Or maybe that's... I want to get the... Oh, shoot, I forgot which one it was. Was it the... wasn't universal. No, it was universal. Yeah, so I want to get the Orthodox Universal. Trade for sect book. Interact. Trial, craft. So just trade items. Okay, so it's going to be a book that I have a green next to it because it's one I would have read. Let's do... Here, let's filter. This is going to be a martial book that I have studied. Okay, she doesn't have it. All right, she does not have it. All right, any other friendos around? You are way too low rank. Okay, there's some of my other friends. Cultivate trade for sect book went to the wrong place. We'll check it with him. Cultivate. Oh, okay. Got it. Boy, they have a lot. They have a lot of menus where you can get stuff from them, don't they? All right. Well, hey, I like your beard, bro. You're also devoted, so maybe you'll be a little nicer. Okay, so I want the green. Yeah, here we are. While this footwork is active, each weapon attack that lands immediately triggers a free weapon attack again, but with reduced hit. Right now, if the enemy deflects our attack, we attack again. Here's the thing. Most fights, we're not getting deflected. I mean, that's the ding sound. Most fights, we're just hitting them. So I think I would like this. And I really just need the orthodox parts of it. And we don't have any lost chapters. We also have a new outline, peculiar. Sure. All right. We could just pay with prestige. Is that what I'm reading here? Simple as, I guess. That is incredibly cheap. All right. I don't think I have anything else I need to do at the moment, but thank you, sir. Yeah, if they have more than you and enough affinity, you can ask people for aspiration XP. Yeah, we have not really delved too deeply into a lot of these, ironically enough. So if we look at him, I bet you his fine arts are pretty good, right? No, actually. Actually, I'm quite better. We should keep an eye out for somebody who actually has some, and maybe we should ask for some. Commoner XP, personal books, sect books, privately trained. Right, we don't have anything we need, right? Yeah, we've mastered or learned everything up to our current point. We've actually learned the purple. We have not learned infinite Tai. This would be the next one. It does use force. The Tai sword is one of the renowned swords of the Eastern Zhou dynasty, majestic and tremendous in power. Infinite Tai sword's art can send debris and stones flying a large radius when performed. As it's a genuine power bursts forth, even the fiercest foe should be intimidated when enveloped in the immense incoming chi. Hits mainly body and torso, but a little bit of everything. Okay, and orthodox does extra unleashing if we have the correct swords, gives us extra martial arts range, does more unleashing. That's the same as that. The heterodox, the attack range is increased by 2. If we have a really good demeanor, the effect is doubled. Okay, I don't care too much about that. Need to learn all the lower ones first. You can be taught this art by characters who like you, even if the world level's too low. Yeah, that's what's been happening. We just got the Chi Blade and we just got Eminence Lock like 2 months ago. So that would be nice. That is above where we can currently get. We would need to win the tournament again in order to get it. We don't know what these two are. So what do we... Okay, go ahead and tell me this one. What do we need to do to get this? Do I need to ask people about secrets and then they'll tell me these? Because we just don't even know what those arts are. Gadget heart. Extra dodge, extra parry, extra resilience. I mean, that would be really nice. We'd totally use that. Yeah, hopefully someone will teach us while we're bumming around here. I think you just need to encounter them. Yeah. Okay, I'm supposed to wait here, so I'm just looking how I'm gonna burn some energy, basically. Ask the sex leader. He won't give that to me. Our max is right here. He definitely, I don't think, will give that. The leader, that's a manor. I forget who it is at the moment. Monolith. Mastersmith. I don't think they're here at the moment. Right, cricket duel stuff. Okay. What else would we want to extract out of you? We could try a cricket duel, I guess. Do you have anything interesting? Foodstuffs, jade, silver, prestige. He has a Gandorama pill. Just a healing thing. Does have a lot of books. On evil substances. Why are you studying so much toxic stuff here, buddy? It has really high level. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I want from him at the moment. Commoner XP. I don't really care about Commoner XP. What would you give me? Just out of curiosity, because we were looking at that. Nothing at the moment, because you probably don't like me well enough. All right, you know what? We'll work on you some more. Have I told you about how good I am at carpentry? Yeah, she's very impressed by that. All right, and you are benevolent. Okay. If I remember right, we really struggled to compliment you. We'll try demeanor, I guess. Talk, compliment. Or I guess disposition. Okay, affectionate. Did not give me any extras there. All right, trade for sect books, just out of curiosity. Yes, he won't give me the higher ones. I don't think there's anything else I really care about, if I'm being honest. Yeah. You can get closer at affectionate. Sure, we'll just make sure we don't lose that support. We'll have a close bond. Overwhelmed with joy, as you do. All right, 4 more energy. I guess we'll go mess around with some crickets. All right, come here, you. At some point, I need to start doing more cricket duels. I have some absolute monsters. Some of them have probably died of old age, if I'm being honest. Or they're getting close. Come on, give me a real cricket. None of these posers. I'm not impressed at all. I don't think that was a good click. A teal crimson jaw. Yeah, tier 4. You can spar with a dummy at the training hall. Should be able to show character data. A lot of these type of games, Shinosuke, have a feature like that, where you can just like upload like one character or something. I'm trying to think what it was in Amazing Cultivation Simulator. The Dimensional Tower or something. I think that might have been PvP. I never actually did that because that just doesn't interest me. I don't know if you watched the video. I have a members first video for Elsa Bong that they had a feature like that where you could upload your team and fight another team. The Heavenly Realm thing, yeah. Or like Down with the Ship is, offline PvP, if you want to call it that. Witness Dihun Dun as I close the spider door in your name. Oh no. Oh, cross, okay. I don't know if I want people opening spider doors in my name. That sounds horrible. It's for lore reasons. I wouldn't like it if characters just popped up like Pokemon training. Alright, you could totally make that work though, Nate. You just have like a otherworldly meditation platform where you meditate and you fight celestial spirit demons from the void. There you go. Alright, get in my bag. Do we have somebody better than that last bum? Tier 4. I'm gonna go feed that to my rooster. Who I should probably actually go equip too, now that I think about it. Okay. Okay. I'll bite that for $1. What do you got here, buddy? Yeah. Yeah. AKA the Pokemon Center. Psh, forget that. We need to be able to have online cricket duels. My tier 2 flawless yellow. Golden from head to claw. It has sturdy, seemingly gilded legs. This champion with its black mandibles can stand on its own against a legion of crickets. Okay. And you know what? In for a penny, in for a pound. Get in my bag. Come here, you. I'm out of bug nets. How am I out of bug nets? Are we seriously out of bug nets? Have I used up all those ones I bought? I have. Wow, okay. I thought we had like 30 of those. All right, whatever. I'm just burning time for this. I have 78. Okay, I'll look again. Parenting education. Dihun Dun grew to the age of education. I have adorable daughters. All right, so what was hers? Was hers literature? Dun became more interested in agility training. All right, I'm not gonna fight that. If you like agility, you'll like agility. Ask people for cricket tribute. Saw them in my private vault. Okay, I'll double check. Yeah, we did that a minute ago, Nate. I used my special ability. Unfortunately, it was one I already had. Alright, I'm not gonna fight it. She can do whatever she feels. Your baby can do gymnastics. This is how it should be. Bronze unsealed. Okay, we got the next piece of the event. That day, dusk falls and all is quiet. Taiwu Dun is laying across the tree branches, casually rummaging through his travel bag, looking for bug nets. Clothes and a bronze furnace, the Fuyu hilt, each one is faintly covered in a layer of black ash. It stings the nose and it still feels hot, probably left over from the visit to Swordsmith Villa. While wiping the soot off, he starts thinking back to everything he saw while delivering the letter, and feeling a wave of worry for the sect. A mystery turns into an opportunity and everyone's got their take. Talking to himself, Dun Taiwu wipes the last of the ash from the Fuyu hilt, stuffs everything back in the travel bag, then suddenly a raspy voice speaks at him. Mystery, their own take. Now the Swordsmith Villa isn't dealing with bad seeds. The guilds aren't any easier. Do I need to give another ghost to Paddlin? I probably do. You better be on your best behavior. Hearing the raspy voice, Taiwu Dun replies out aloud, but something feels off. Taiwu Dun turns to look back only to find tree branches thick with leaves. No one else is there. Suspicious of ghosts, Dun Taiwu shifts his gaze from the trees to his travel bag, which might be haunted, and locks eyes with the bronze head inside of it. Could that little thing be messing with me? Can't be. Sure enough, just as Dun Taiwu finishes speaking, the bronze head mutters back, "Little thing, messing with you." The bronze mechanism can talk? Back at Swordsmith's, Taiwu Dun had seen all manner of mechanical falcons. Some could fly for miles, others could shatter stone. All strange and clever in their own ways, but none could speak. This bronze mechanism only understands language it responds. Whoever made it must have been a genius. Taiwu Dun can't help but wonder who made this. Where did the creator come from? Little thing, who made you? The bronze head tilts slightly, then mutters as if pondering. Who? Do you know any swordsmith villa artisans? Artisan who? Little thing who? The bronze head repeats Dun Taiwu like a parrot, mimicking his exact tone and rhythm, clearly with no grasp of the word's meaning. Maybe it's a toy mimic. Little thing, do you know of Guangshu's caravan? Guangshu's caravan? Guangshu's caravan? That person put you in a box and tried to turn you into a money machine. Brocade box messing with you. The bronze head is like a parrot. I'm Taiwu Dun. What's your name? Name? Little thing name. At that time, Taiwu suddenly recalls. This thing was stuffed at the bottom of the Swordsmith Villa's old warehouse for who knows how long. Even when it was brought out, it was kept locked in a brocade box, passed it from one dark, quiet place to another. No wonder it's slow to speak, clueless and lost in thought. It all makes sense now. Obviously, guys. Obviously, that makes sense now. Okay, so be it. Just as Taiwu Dun starts to feel a little discouraged, the bronze mechanism suddenly speaks again, this time with surprising certainty. Tongxing, artisan, Tongxing. Your name is Tongxing, you're an artisan. Were you a disciple of Swordsmith Villa? Tongxing doesn't know. The bronze head goes quiet again. Like everything, Taiwu Dun takes for granted means nothing to it. It sure seems unsure how to give a clear answer. Well, I was asked to find your body parts, you just stay put. Taiwu Dun, Tongxing, Taiwu Dun. The bronze head repeats the names back, lost in thought. It keeps echoing, not knowing what any of it means. Isn't that the head from the stag door? Gearby? I mean, at least he's not crying like Gearby. Although his jaw might be broken, so that could be fair. Need to collect all the pieces of the Exodia. By the way, for anyone here that didn't watch through the Cultist Simulator playthrough, we finished it last night. It's a fun playthrough. Not to toot my own horn, but I think it'd be a pretty enjoyable view. Growing threat. Another secret tome has appeared in the world. Secret Tome of Chaos. Enchanted by the secret tome. Mania. Zanshan. Okay, well, there you go. Head to Jinglan main city to purchase the bronze components. Alright, can we do this? I only have 25, so I have room for 31 comprehension. What can we eat for 31 comprehension? Okay, we cooked up nice things. Here's 30 on my spiked fish. Consume. Delicious. Okay, so this chapter, we need 18%. Bedtime reading does it. Vocal reflection does it. Okay, so those two together would finish the book. I can't fit one down here, though. Okay, we do the cheaper one. Is there anything that would help the next chapter? Greatly increases the study efficiency of this chapter. Using the chapter uses less. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it's okay though. I have a second copy of the book. I think I'm happy enough letting one just get eaten. Although I guess we could just switch it out, right? None of these are actually doing anything. So wait a minute. Why don't we just switch book? If he studies, that should do it. That's true too. Because that'll give us 13%, which is exactly what we need. Okay, let's study. Let's study. So I need 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we finished it. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, fine arts, show me, not studied. The closest thing I have is smithing, but I have no smithing books. Carpentry's good, weaving's good, jewel crafting's good. Okay, this is a relatively easy book. And we only are gonna have, actually we're gonna have only incompletes, no losts. Okay, we'll do that. We'll reference the other one. So we have 2 completes and 3 incompletes. That's not too bad. Going for the 400. Yeah, we're making a play for it, but we really don't have the books, unfortunately. Okay, this is gonna be nothing. It's gonna be nothing. That's gonna be so easy. We did get it? We did get it. You're right. Nice. Very nice. I am now a master carpenter. You may thank me. Did the reference change from lost to incomplete? Yep. So if you have reference books, you get the best chapter from any of the 3. So if I pull this out, we have a lost chapter. If I add that back in, you can see here, my reference book is missing chapter 3, but it has an incomplete chapter 5. So you get the best of. So for these like hard books, the problem is these are usually rare, so it's hard to do that. But if we could find some combination that gave us completes, we could do that too. You could have up to 3, you could actually use 4 of the same book, I guess, in theory. Okay, very, very nice though. Yeah, we can. Okay, I don't want to spend that level of book on a reference though. Probably not that one. We're probably all the way down here. Not stellar, but that's okay. All right, so this is gonna be some weaving materials. So I'll buy some more books for reference, then finish books that have 3+ lost chapters. Yes. The other thing is, I don't know if people really caught this, but different books have different chapters or different heterodox and orthodox things. So like here, for Astral Evasion, I've read both, so I could do either or. So and each of these actually do something. So if I didn't like, let's find a bad one maybe. Do we have one? Yeah, like let's say we didn't want to raise our usage requirements, so we'll take. Oh no, I guess we need the specific one. So we could either raise our requirements or we could lower the cap but lower the requirements. So you can kind of mix and match a little bit in here. Current power plus 10. So that one's just straight up worse. Actually, no, that's not. This is current power. This is max cap. So depending on what you're doing, at low levels, current power is probably better than max cap. I haven't really done a lot of things where this mattered, but just for reference there. And actually, hang on. Since I said for reference there, we shouldn't actually read this book. What we should read is my other universal book, because I want to go change that before we get in big fights. So this will be a studied, a martial art. This will be a studied martial art. Why am I not seeing you? All right, give me all of them. It is a Swordsmith Villa art. Universal stances. Here we are. Okay, so we have 2 incomplete chapters. See, yeah, this is going to take nothing because we've read most of these. But this one specifically should be my orthodox stuff. All right, can we give you some kind of reference that will just finish you up? There we are. All right, we'll just read that for 1 month. Okay, I guess we're off on our journey. Oh, no. Private vault. Somebody said I did have my bug nets. I did. Okay, yeah. Give me 10, please. All right, come here, you. You thought you were gonna get away? Not happening. Top and bottom, I usually like orthodox. Both increase the cap. So for lower martial arts, it bumps it a little more. But yeah, When you're right, low levels not capping current power. Yeah. Like I said, I haven't really been able to engage with that much, but I bet you the approach also has some pretty good ones. These are absolutely terrible. I'm not even sure I want to spin the net. I'm not going to spin the net. Forget that noise. That was horrible. Alright, we're on cooldown for getting the dug up stuff, so I'm not going to worry about it. And I can do my collection. Let's do the collection before we leave. And of course we get some more seeds. I'm not too sus about what we get. We can get those really easily. Okay, I think we're ready to move on. So we did our study. I'm not wounded. Collect my stuff. Okay, well, here we go. Herbs, jade, beasts. You're both very ugly, but you seem to be nice people, so you can join us. Okay. Beasts. Beast pack. Upgrade. Herbs. Upgrade. Man, we really need some more swamp mud, and we really need some more elemental water. Those are not growing very well. Okay, those are all upgraded. Where are we gonna dump these new people? Yeah, let's dump them here. All right, learn about that. Also, we got another chicken. You. Okay, 2 chickens. Oh, creak. Are they actually walking around my village? Is that why they have the little guy there? So 97 health. We have a trowel. I have nothing to feed you guys. Okay. So what is it? Okay, so golden pheasant's combs are gold throughout, with colorful plumage as brilliant as a brocade. It's said to resemble the Binghuang, a auspicious creature. Thus, their imagery is often used in imperial decorations and embellishments. Luck plus 40 versus increased favorability and luck plus 50. So I feel like he's better, frankly. And these just work automatically, right? I don't have to do anything to have them here as long as they're in my coop. They are walking around the village. I want to see a chicken. Where are you at, chicken? I feel like we're playing Where's Waldo? But Waldo moves while you're looking for him. Oh, I know. You gotta be here somewhere, buddy boy. Aha! Aha! Caught in 4K. I played Anno before and had to find random animals. Right here. Look at him, he's very happy. Just feed them in the library? Alright, well, we did it. We did it. Okay, well, that was amusing. Okay, I think we're ready to travel here. Okay, so we need to head to Jingling Main City. Jingling Main City. Jingling, yeah, right here. Okay. Wow, it's a place we've been before. There you go. The Imperial Chicken was in the library. Well, he's very regal. He's allowed to do that. What's the main mission for today? We finished off the mass grave, and now we're working through the swordsmith storyline. We're heading out to go buy some body parts. Can I change my book before we start traveling? No, I can't. I guess it doesn't matter. We're not going to pass another month. Yeah, we came here for the wedding event, but we ended up not marrying her. She wasn't bad, though. She was all right. All right, and there's the book thing that people were talking about earlier, the study spots. Okay, done with universal stances. Let me actually make sure I got what I wanted out of that. So universal stances. Okay, we would need to re-break through for this, right? And we also have... Oh, I'm not allowed to do? I thought we had peculiar. Okay, so not on this book, I guess. It must have been something else I was looking at. Okay, so this will give us the orthodox mind method. And that's what I want. Your bar doesn't matter. No, your bar does matter. I do want you to be on breath. Unfortunately, we can't 100% it. All right, so we're going to clear progress and redo this. What did I stick in here? Just some XP. Cool. You can press the space bar while traveling to pause. Oh, good to know. Thank you. You do, but you need to clear the progress. Okay, yeah. And I think we're going to do that. Actually, if I just did this, does that mean that we have the orthodox mind on right now? I don't care that much about re-breaking through. If we look at it in here. It is. Okay, that's nice. Okay, so you can just change the chapter's orthodoxy without having to re-break through. Perfect. Okay, cool. Then I don't have to do that. Nice. At some point, it might be worth coming back and doing bigger breakthroughs, but I don't think I care at the moment. We'll see if this is better, and I suspect it will be. Because I always run that footwork that gives us plus like 1,000 force, we don't have a lot of problems hitting. So even with a lower chance to hit, I don't think we have to worry about that. All right, is this gonna be my event? No. Fish cake of dreams. I seem to remember somebody panicking when I almost went into this. Is that an event that we could actually handle at this point? I really wish they would just give me a difficulty indicator on these. Willow shades the tethered rein. Steps trace silence up the lane. Old friends lie far beyond the plain. New cicadas hum a summer refrain. Poet and don't know it. The waters and mountains of Jingling shine in the sunlight. The lake shimmering like glass. Following the water route, Taiwu Dun spots a fallen road sign. He knows that if he keeps walking straight, he'll reach Jingling in less than half a day. But Tongshin speaks. Successor of Taiwu, the sign. It says Jingling, what about it? Tingshin answers in a broken but clear voice. Cut wood, make it. Mortise and tendon, raise the sign. His words are clear and precise, completely different from when he used to parrot things like a confused bird. You want me to fix the sign? Fix it, fix it. Looking at the armless, legless Tongshin, Dun Taiwu figures it's not hard to repair a small signpost. He is a master carpenter after all. Still, he has no idea why Tongshin is so fond of these things. He pulls out some tools and wood, cuts the joints, props the post up, and locks it in place. Tongshin watches, seemingly satisfied. Artisan. Taiwu Dun artisan. Once you're fully assembled, you can fix the signposts in the land. Come on, let's head down to the Pavilion of Wonders. You look creepy. Treasure glints in the sunlight, casting a purple light on carved eaves. After a few more miles, Taiwu Dun finally reaches the main branch of the Pavilion of Wonders in Jingling. The shopkeeper is lounging around on one side of the hall, Shin resting his hand, lazily fiddling with a pair of jade pixiu. When Taiwu Dun pushes the door open, the man doesn't even look up and says with a yawn, rough jade, low grade. Oh, successor of Taiwu, my apologies. I should have greeted you sooner. Shopkeeper, I'm here today to buy something. The shopkeeper sets the jade picchu on the counter and then flicks them one by one with his index finger. They spin through the air, curve mid-flight, and smash into pieces on the floor. He bursts out laughing. Well, well, a successor of Taiwu knows what the Pavilion of Wonders is all about. If it exists, we've got it. Just to be clear, I don't sell relics to just anyone. Good prices are only for the priceless. So, tell me, are you one of the priceless? He laughs again. Someone, clean up that low-grade junk and get it out of my sight. I've heard customers picking shops, but shops picking customers? Guys, you only need to spend $10,000 and Star Citizen will let you into the non-poor shop. You don't have to buy the garbage, you can buy the good stuff. Just spend $10,000 and they'll let you in. In times like these, supplies are tight. If we sell rare goods to just anyone and receive rusty scrap in return, what's the point? The shopkeeper says, waving a hand in mild annoyance. Then he suddenly spots Ting Xing behind Dihun Taiwu, eyes lighting up. Wait, turn around. Let me take a look at that big head on your belt. This is a mechanism built by Swordsmith Villa. Before Taiwu Dun can finish, the shopkeeper hurries over and lifts the bronze head. He inspects it closely, frowning more and more as he turns it around. Someone bought a bronze arm the other day. It looked old, so I didn't think much of it, but I see now they're a matching set. Is this some kind of new weapon? Does it shoot needles from its mouth? Maybe laser eyes? Its name is Tongxing. It's an artisan, not a weapon. Tongxing, not a weapon. The bronze head suddenly speaks. The shopkeeper's face goes pale. He yelps and flings the head across the room. Crash! It smashes into a tall porcelain vase in the corner, shattering it into worthless shards. What kind of monster's that? I am gonna hold you responsible if you break my head. Hey, it even has a name? Then the shopkeeper gets to his feet, flips his messy hair back. His eyes gleam. He shouts, "Someone, bring me that bronze arm and my ledger. Successor Taiwu, that talking head of yours, you're selling it or not?" Let's get down to brass tacks. How much for the head? I was entrusted to protect it. It's not for sale. The shopkeeper narrows his eyes and then scoffs. Entrusted? Let me guess. That sly old fox of Gongshu's caravan suite talked you into it. What makes you say that? Ha, I knew he'd pull something like this. That old fox is fat now, and he complains every few miles in his own carriage. Too hot and too tired. Now he's willing to travel all the way from Qingzhou to Fujian? Of course he's up to something. As long as he doesn't meddle in my trade, I couldn't care less. So there's some bad blood. Worn down, broken, Ting-Ching, repair. Tong-Xing suddenly speaks up, his voice halting. The shopkeeper stares in disbelief. Successor of Taiwu, you said that weird little head's an artisan? A mechanism that's an artisan? Top tier, absolutely top tier. Tong-Shen seems oddly fixated on the word artisan. The shopkeeper narrows his eyes for a second, then scoffs. Entrusted, let me guess. I'm here for business, not gossip. I came to buy the limbs, that's all. The shopkeeper glances at the bronze arm at the servant's box. His eyes flick around and he hands Tong-Shen back to Dihun Taiwu. I'm gonna charge you for throwing my bronze head. You might have broke that, dude. That bronze arm's always seemed a little strange to me. I can't just hand it over for free. Tell you what, there's probably nothing you can't handle, right? Do me a favor and I'll gift you the arm. The things I'll do, I'll give you an arm and a leg. Go on, I'm listening. Is he a mecha fan? Yeah, he does gunplay in the back, or gunpla in the back. If this was a text RPG, I'd tell Tong-Shen to roleplay as a fully functional version of himself. Nate, you've been playing around with AI too much. He has made a metal, true, bronze, actually. What would you do for a Klondike bar? Apparently, get an arm. The shopkeeper sighs, his face is full of regret. Merchants like us deal in treasure, not weapons. That makes us easy target for those thieving lowlives. Lately, bandits have been targeting merchants around Jingling. Bold as brass, they take what they want without paying a silver. I like how he capitalizes silver. So, the successor of Taiwu, will you help me get my stolen goods back and teach them a lesson? No problem, leave it to me. The shopkeeper stands tall and grins. Those bandits, strangely enough, seem to know the Jingling trade routes like the back of their hand. They're always able to slip into the hills, hide the loot among the trees and rocks, a real slippery bunch. You'll want to ask around the local merchants to get a better idea. Don't worry though, I'll send a team to follow you. You won't be going alone. This is good. Search the Pavilion of Wonders merchant. Okay, so we just need to bump into another merchant. Sure. Demonic. Well, I haven't had a chance to try out my new techniques. Now. Okay, okay, maybe that's not be quite as good. So I'm not going to want to have this one running, so we won't have as much force. So let's switch to that one, and let's see about it. I mean, those extra hits are pretty good. Those extra hits are pretty good. Because they generate my techniques here. Alright, so we're going to want to use this one from now on, unless we can't hit. Then we'll have to switch over. And I don't have enough breath to defend that. No, that's gonna suck. You actually wounded me. Man, I hate poison people. Low Claw. The most infamous finger art to come out of Sanguine Sect, the sole requirement is for the learner to be shamelessness. It's the easiest of all moves that targets the opponent's genitalia. Okay, I was literally gonna make a joke about that, but I decided against it. But the game was like, no, bruh, I gotcha. She's going for the shocker. Dihun Dun doesn't play those games. You're not my wife. Oh my goodness. That's not good. That's not good. You can tell she's truly demonic. Monkey steals peach. 1,000 years of pain. We've been violated. We need to call the police and make a report. Alright, can we finish off with my molester? This is ridiculous. I don't think that's gonna do it. Oh, barely does. Sanguine Sect has a lot of moves like this. Poison user hides his impure needles. I really appreciate the game making the joke for me. I resisted like a good boy, but it did it for me. 3 portions, 9 pulses, a Kong Sang sect. A unique art. Yeah, don't care about that at the moment. Those moves are unabashedly simple Krav Maga. Behavior like eye jab. I used to play Krav Maga all the time in Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead. Let me think. I want to go change that loadout. I want to change the order. Okay, so I want to move you and you. So these are the 2 I'm going to want to turn on when we enter combat instead of this one. So this is for I'm having trouble hitting because it gives me a ton of force. This one is I actually need movement speed. This one is I want to get double attacks. Yeah. Methods to madness here. And Omnisnare, you can stay there, that's fine. Let's actually switch those 2, because I use Celestial Armor. I don't really use Wooden Armor. And you can just hang out in the back. And we have 1 more equipped that we're just never going to use. We're just having it for some stats. New book to study. Thank you, yes. New book to study too. Thank you, thank you. I totally forgot. I got distracted there. Okay, so we have a very low durability Wu Dang. I don't think I want to struggle bust that. Do you do something for me? If the enemy's attack inflicts both direct internal and direct external and internal injury, we take 60% less direct external. I don't need that. I'll learn it at some point, but that's not a rush. Yeah, I think we're still in our fine arts phase. Medical T3. You know what? Maybe that gives me hope that we can make something happen here. Can we, with 3 reference books, get high enough? Okay. Intricate mechanisms. No, I can use you as long as we don't burn you completely out. You are not red yet. Nor are you. The classics of questioning is red. And we got one more. And it really, it's going to fall down to this level, and so it doesn't really matter. I've got multiple copies of this, so we'll read with one of these. Well, no, the durability is kind of crap. We'll do classics of water again. I'd say to learn low blow so you can have a disrespectful taunt move. Give him the shocker. New tools of Jade working is red. Oh, that is true. All right, yeah, that gives us a little bit better stats here. Classics of questioning is also kind of crap. Do we want to switch that out? No, that's the best one I'm willing to sacrifice. All right, it's not going to be too bad. 2 incompletes and a lost. I mean, we should be able to handle that. I have 28. So we do need to eat something. Well, here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I have room for 42. 42. All right, we can easily consume a 30. Okay, I have room, not quite enough, so we'll just hang off on the next eat. Okay, and then also, private vault, treasury. I want to put book. I want to put this one away because it only has 1 durability. I probably am going to store intricate mechanism. The durability is just so bloody low. Well, we might use it for a reference. Yeah, a whole bunch of these are basically reference books at this point. Probably not these, though. That's probably far enough down. Trying to make myself have a little less weight. We are certainly carrying a lot around. Okay. Out of energy, time to roll month. Okay, I think that might be new. Vermilion honey. Herbs. That reminds me of the red honey from Sunless Sea. That makes me a little worried. Bunch of living stone. Okay. Your jewelry is hurt and you're poisoned. Yeah, I did take a bunch of poison there, didn't I? And we actually got a wound from it. All right, detox, heal. No problem for Doc Dune. And equipment. We can always come give that a little check. You... Not you, apparently. You. Repair. Yeah, we're not that damaged, but yeah, it's fine. Get it all fixed up. Okay. I don't want to start another piece of adventure because I do not know how long that will take, and we are at almost 4 hours, so I think we're going to roll the month here, and then we will be calling it. So, pretty good. I'm really enjoying this storyline, actually. So, hopefully, I have no idea how long it will last, but next time, so tomorrow, we will continue on with this storyline with the goal of getting it finished. That would be ideal. I do want to still... We need to pick up like 1 or 2 more acumens, and then we're probably going to go try the next sword mound. We really don't have a lot more skills that we're going to be able to get until we raise that cap again. We'll see, who knows when that'll be though. I'm not making any promises on how long that will take me, so that'll be a thing. Let's roll our month, and then we know there's going to be some events probably. So I might still have one more event that we need to read. Okay, we do not. Perfect. We'll have our night together. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow, same time for this stream. In about 2 hours, we're going to play a little bit of Pal World. Pal World just came out in 1.0, and I'd like to celebrate their legal victories over corporate bullies. So I'm going to stream that at least once. We'll see how popular it is. I might do a little playthrough of it. I have played a little bit in the past, but I didn't beat the whole thing. It's survival crafting with pals who are legally distinct, as proven in a court of law. So I'd encourage people to come check that out. It'll be a pretty casual stream, I assume, since it's a survival crafter. That's also going to be a little bit of a dipstick for me. I would love, one of my white whales for the channel is to beat Conan Exiles. This will be a test to see if I can get people to watch survival crafting. So maybe show up for some support if that's a genre of games that interests you. Beyond that, leaving a like on this stream helps me a ton, as mentioned earlier. If you're not subscribed, I hope I've earned your subscription. I'd love to see you back tomorrow and in all future streams. Want to support the channel? You can always leave a super chat while I'm live, join me with a membership, or consider checking out the Patreon linked in the channel info. I also have a free Discord. If you don't get notifications from YouTube, I do at everyone about 15 minutes before I go live in my announcement channel, so you can get a little heads up when I'm gonna go live. Will you ever stream Cataclysm? Probably at some point. That's gonna be another kind of hard one. I would need to practice before I could do that on stream. I did purchase the what is Worm Girl's version? Whatever her version is on Steam, because it has the branch I like more, but it's way harder than Cataclysm Dark Days. So I would need to repolish up. Otherwise it'd just be me dying for 4 hours. All right, guys, I'm gonna go get some food, take a break, rest my voice, and we'll be back for some Pal Worlds. A good palate cleanser, I would say. As mentioned earlier, I did finish that Cultist Sim run, so if you haven't watched that, check that out. I think you're gonna enjoy it. It was pretty fun. We had a lot of fun doing that. All right, guys, I'm gonna go get something to eat. I will talk to you in a couple hours. Double out.